we've got to start at quarterback, and so I'm dying to know, how many quarterbacks do you gents have on your 53-man roster?
I made it 4. I managed to make it.
I made it 4.
I made it 4, and Cy made it 4. So we have all got Rodgers, Rudolph, Aller, and Howard making the roster. Which is I'm interested that we did all end up landing there. I did think somebody might be an outlier with what happened with Will Howard, and we'll talk about that performance in a sec. I just found it funny that last year, Cy, this was kind of a throwaway comment, but it kind of highlighted something quite funny to me. Cy said in last year's show, we're not keeping 4 quarterbacks. And obviously now, a year later, all 4 of us have gone with the fact that we are keeping 4 quarterbacks. So, Will Howard, gents, let's kind of discuss, because it was a rough one against the Jets, 2 interceptions. It wasn't as rough as you would think for a 2-pick game like that. There were some nice moves being made, nice drives being pushed through. Just 2 drives that ended really, really ugly for him. And obviously not a great amount of help around him either. But Gav, what did you think kind of overall in terms of Will Howard's performance, picks and all?
Yeah, live, I kind of thought, well, that's it. He's blown it. 2 picks, 1 in the end zone. What was it, 18 yards out or something? That's it. He's blown it. Watching back, actually, he played really well, I thought, apart from those 2 throws. There were some really nice plays. The bullet to Tonyan when he stepped onto the pocket to evade that pressure to gain 14 yards. That was nice. The zip on the throw to Scrobo in the second quarter, 3rd and 8, where actually I noticed that Dowd will make a nice pass protection block. Just generally some nice layered passes. I thought a little bit more velocity. But I wondered if it was, he's competing against Aller, who is, you can just see the ball just flies out of his hand. He doesn't even need to put any effort at all. He's got a whip of an arm, just comes out with so much velocity. And that's the real difference between the 2 that just elevates Aller. For me, you can't teach that velocity. I think we saw Will Howard trying to force balls maybe a little bit. Now, we need to have the discussion about, was it Roman Wilson? Was it Will Howard? Really hard to tell. I don't know what you guys think. I think the first one, live, I thought Howard shouldn't have taken it. On the All-22, I thought Roman Wilson, he made his break, and it looks to me like he should have been running a completely horizontal route across the line, and he kind of runs diagonally back towards the corner, and that allows Cisco to undercut him. So I think it was on Wilson. What do you think?
I think it was on Wilson, but I do also think Howard, he's got his eyes in that direction. Regardless, I think he's got to be aware of what's coming underneath there. I do think that's kind of on him a little bit. I think that one's more 50-50 than the second one, which I do really think is Roman Wilson's error, personally. What Wilson was doing on that second one, I do not know. But I do think Howard's vision there has got to be better. I think he can, he's got that area of the field he's looking towards, and he's just not picked that out. And regardless of what route Wilson is running, I think he's got to be better at kind of.
I think if you pause at the moment, not where he releases the ball, but the appointment. I try and pause it at the moment. That's what I'm trying to say, where the quarterback makes the decision to actually throw the ball. And if you look, you've got Cisco on the right hand side towards the sort of sideline corner end zone, and you've got Wilson who's just made a break, and it looks like he's got some area, some green grass in front of him. If he had run that horizontal line, there's no way that Cisco could have undercut him, but he kind of just faded it. He faded it back. So I agree with what you're saying, but I think if it wasn't just about choosing the right route, I think Wilson just ballsed it up, just got too soft, got too deep, and you can't do that to your quarterback, right? It's all about anticipation. He's anticipating that route for Wilson to cut in front of Cisco, not the other way around.
Yeah.
I have big concerns with Wilson's route running generally now. Obviously, this game highlighted it in bold italic underlines, but I think his route running is lazy. Obviously, he took the wrong angle. I think he shows no hunger for the ball, and I think he gives up on routes before he's even ran them. I think on the second one, it looked like he'd kind of slowed up a little bit, and I feel like Howard was trying to sort of maybe move the ball closer to him with a view that he was slowing down, but then he sort of sped up a little bit, and then it made the ball kind of almost behind Wilson at that point, and that's why it was a relatively easy second interception. I don't think it was the best throw from Howard on the second one. But yeah, the fact that Wilson had slowed up and he was drifting off route on both occasions, if I'm with these quarterbacks, I wouldn't trust him as far as I could throw towards him.
Yeah, I thought, again, his breaks, not sharp, not tough, through them. They're kind of soggy, aren't they? He's kind of getting owned through them.
Doesn't have a hunger for the ball as well. He just seems to be like, oh, well, I'll just run around and see what happens. He doesn't seem to like take the ball at speed, run past a guy, get yards after the catch. He just seems like he's not putting effort in.
Just because he was the main target on that J.J. McCarthy National Natty Championship Michigan Wolverines team, right? Mm-hmm. And he played with that underneath physicality. But I do think I've made this mistake. You know, I was high on him in the draft, but I've made this mistake before with Amari Rodgers. You know, I see this toughness that happens in college, but it doesn't always translate. If you haven't got the precision in your breaks and the ability to hit landmarks, then you're just a dude running roughly in the right area. You're not a precision route runner. And we saw it for that second pick, and it was Womack, you know, making everyone having teardrops again with that second pick. Especially sorry, I had to go for the 80s pop tune reference there.
Yeah, it's fair.
I think on
hit
the
a certain
first
demographic.
Yeah, me.
Like I say, just to take away from pop references and going into more dry football chat, I think the O-line didn't help in terms of the first throw because the Jets rushed 4. Spencer Anderson stood there almost waiting for Christmas before deciding very late on to help Dylan Cook out, and he was already in Howard's lap by then. So I think Howard was under pressure on that. I think it was the second throw actually of the 2. So just wanted to note that as well.
Yeah.
Whoa!
Sorry, nearly right? Lost my microphone there. Whoa, blimey! Sorry about that. I mean, as you say, other than that, I think Will Howard did actually have a pretty solid game. You know, a lot of these drives were moving well until those, you know, particularly those 2 big drives until the picks. There was certainly some good work there. You know, there was a sack he took early on where he's kind of bailing back and probably, you know, could have stepped up into the pocket and avoided that. But, you know, kind of, caught in 2 minds a little bit, went backwards, pretty large sack taken there. Hang on, even though I can't hear them, I can still play them. Oh, no, I can't because I can't even get my mouse sorted. There we go.
Okay.
That's for
large sack, yes.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, other than that, I watched this back and I think I was very much like you, Gav. I was thinking, oh, this is probably it for Howard now. You know, this is the performance that's going to really take him out of the running here. And what I think it did highlight is Mason Rudolph is absolutely going to stick on this team. I think both performances, you know, while there was some nice work with Aller in his half, I do think both performances kind of highlighted what Mason can bring to this team still.
What was that tweet that someone did out after the first game, the Green Bay game? Was it that if you still think that Mason Rudolph should be on this team, then you're an idiot that doesn't know football? Wasn't that the? I should have kept the receipts on that one. Because
I had plenty of receipts coming back by being positive on Will Howard.
Well, I think there's right to be positive about guys, but to be so certain that you don't need an experienced, you know, what is he? 2018, he was drafted, so 8-year veteran that's been a sort of spot starter. Come on. You need
it's
that.
Frustrating, and I'm bored with the narrative of Mason Rudolph.
Yeah,
more than
I think that's exactly it, Ketts. I think there's some of us that were probably hoping that Howard and Aller were both going to absolutely ball out to the point where we felt like we didn't need Mason Rudolph. I think it's not wanting Mason Rudolph at this point; it's kind of needing Mason Rudolph a little bit, which. It seems sad, but you know, let's face it. It's not like this is the starting role we're talking about. There is still one Mr. Aaron Rodgers that we haven't seen yet. But I guess when you've got two young QBs and you're kind of looking to the future with knowing that this is Aaron Rodgers' last year, allegedly, then yeah, you kind of were hoping, and you can't pin all your hopes on this one game. It is, after all, one game, and that's why I was talking about spying patterns over these first two preseason games and seeing if there's any sort of patterns that you're spotting there. But I think it was kind of a tale of two games for Will Howard, as much as it was for the Steelers. But ultimately, we've all landed on 4 QBs here. It's not ideal.
Hold up, we've got a question from the chat from a certain Simon Winstanley saying, "What exactly do we need Mason for to ensure we get to 8 wins and miss a QB?" No, it's to come in.
How very Ketts of you, Si.
Yeah, it's to come in for a drive or two at the end of the second half when Rodgers has had his chin pushed up towards his eyebrows with a bad hit and needs to have a minute to unring his bell. Rudolph can come in, just settle the ship, hand the ball off 3 times for Lou Nichols to smash the ball, get a first down, and then Rodgers will come back in. That's what we need him for, not Will Howard coming in and throwing a pick with his head spinning. If Rodgers goes down, the season's over. None of these quarterbacks are going to get us to the playoffs. That's not the point. But at least Rudolph can keep driving the offense just for a bit in a game, in a quarter, couple of series, whatever. That's what we need him for.
I saw a QB room of Pickett, Trubisky, and Rudolph take us to the playoffs. I believe anything is possible. Anything is possible. I saw a QB duo of Rudolph and Duck Hodges get us to a non-losing season. Anything is possible.
I enjoyed that.
Well, that's true, Simon. Simon says if Will Howard can't play that role, then cut him. I don't think he's ready. I think he's destined to play that role in a little while. He just needs to mature. And you don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. I think he is destined to be a career backup, and that's fine. That's it's important. Do
we want Will Howard to be the next Mason?
Exactly. That's what we want him for. Precisely. This is just the overlap. Mason plays this year. Will Howard develops on the practice squad or whatever, or on the 53, and then next year Will Howard's the backup, and then you've got the rookie and you've got the whoever. We'll see. We'll see what happens next year.
Yeah, and I think Gary's nailed it
tonight. Is in the Ketts school of thought of if the season is over, we see the young Bucks playing. At worst, we've got a high draft pick.
Exactly. That's why you want them on the team. Precisely.
That's exactly my playbook, Gary.
That's why we want 4. Precisely that. Right, so we just talk a little bit about Allah, just to give him his due from the... What we're going to do is we're going to talk about the 53, but kind of hit into the Jets game, not going to split it out. We don't want to go deep. No one wants to talk too much about that game.
No, but we can talk about that one Drew Aller throw to Lake McCree that was an absolute beauty. I mean, I don't think he had any awareness of the guy that was right next to him. But whatever, he got the ball out. It was absolutely pinpoint, perfectly placed. Great footwork by Lake McCree, by the way, on the catch. But yeah, I think there were a lot of impressive throws from Drew Aller. I think his receivers let him down massively. But, he's playing with the third stringers and whoever. So I am very impressed with what I have seen. Obviously, I am a guy who was not big on Aller coming out of his last year at Penn State. I am seeing some very positive signs from him. I am hoping that he is going to play the first half of this game. I don't think it's been confirmed who's QBing this week and in which order. But I would like to see Drew Aller out there early on and see what he's got. I think switch the roles. Have Aller play the first, Will Howard play the second if you're not going to play Mason and Aaron in this. So, yeah, I was certainly impressed with some of the stuff that he's doing. There was that one late on that he drills down the middle and it's dropped frustratingly. I can't remember who the receiver was now, but
well, that's what Gary's saying in the chat. Start Aller this week. I think they've got to. I think they've got to give him a chance with receivers that don't have holograms for hands again. I mean, it's just not fair.
Exactly.
Those 3 throws at the end, or was it 4 throws? Was it did they give them the 4? I think they did the 4 downs at the end to try and score, and they mostly on target. But it's the same thing. So out of the draft, Mark, you were down on him. I was high on him. I was really, really hoping they did draft him. I was over the moon when they did. But I think what we're seeing is a continuation of what was going on at Penn State. Here's what the highs and lows of this game. Sails that in the third quarter. 4th and 5, an important throw, sails the ball to Wentz, Levi Wentz, with absolutely no pressure. And I'm thinking, okay, he's not ready. Then he pulls off the 38-yard pass to McCree, you're just talking about, after going through a full field read with some nice pocket movement to evade the rush, get the pass away with some backside pressure. He must have felt that coming. I'm thinking, okay, the kid's the future. Then next play, he zips the ball into the ground. I'm thinking, okay, Jesus. And then he's sacked after Driscoll was beat and the delayed blitzer got through for 9 yards. So what we're seeing is the same problem that we had at Penn State, which is inconsistency, right? He can do the magic, and then he does the boneheaded ball hitting the guy's feet. It's like, okay.
My biggest problem with that was we were seeing the boneheadedness way more in that last season at Penn State. And yeah, I know Penn State were a mess, but man, it was just like, it felt like one in every 6 plays was okay. Like it was a real struggle to watch Haller at times. But I think a lot of that was a mental thing as well.
Yeah.
So hopefully he's able to shake that off. And yeah, as I say, McCarthy seems to have been doing an all right job so far. In development, Tom Arth as well. So
yeah, well, sailing balls and firing balls at people's feet, I'm hoping is mechanics, and that can be ironed out. But that's why he should not be anywhere near. You'd not be anywhere near an NFL field this year, I don't think. I don't think he's ready.
Unless, as you say, Rodgers is down and the season looks out, then I'd like to see him.
Maybe towards the end. But it's like, I don't know if, sometimes I go into golf references. Michael, I appreciate this. But, sometimes you've got to rebuild your swing. And it takes reps, lots of reps, for you not to slip back into this hybrid swing between what you're supposed to be doing and what you usually do. And when you do that, you just shank it because you're doing two different things at the same time. So you need time. You need things to bed down into like it's like driving, right? When you're learning to drive, then you're thinking about, I got to change gear, I got to steer, I got to indicate. After a couple of years, you're just driving. You're not thinking about what you're doing. Well, he's developed that, but it's kind of inconsistent technique, so it needs to be broken down. So the whole time he's got to be thinking about what he's doing until this new technique sort of becomes what we call a subroutine, which is when it happens without thinking about it. It's just making a pass, right? That takes time, and you don't want that happening in like week 8 in the third quarter when the Steelers desperately need a win. You just want him to settle down and have a bit of time. Develop these guys, like let's not throw them to the wolves, like Jordan Love. We've seen the development it took. This is what we should be thinking about with Drew Aller. I know we're excited to see him, but we just need him to become the future if he's going to have a chance of being the future.
Yeah, quarterback development is a massive issue, I think, at the moment across all facets of the game. So you're quite right. I don't want to see Aller this year. In a perfect world, we're not going to see Aller this year. Just let him develop. And I know people will say, well, the best way to develop is to get game time. It's like, well, yeah, but we also, we have a team to run here, a franchise to try and get back into a playoff run. So like ideal scenario, Rodgers is healthy all year and is leading us to wherever, and Drew Aller's watching on the sideline, learning and taking everything in, being the sponge that I think Will Howard has been as well. But obviously, he's got his limitations here and there. I think we've all settled on 4 QBs. Then I mean, I don't know if anybody else did this. I did kind of separate the roster out into locks and people who were kind of bubble potential, and I had 40 locks overall, which was more than I had last year. But Rodgers, Rudolph, and Aller are my locks for this roster, and I think Will Howard, I ummed and ahed enough to say I don't think he's a lock for this roster, but he ultimately does make it for me. Does anyone think Howard is a lock?
He's the one at jeopardy, right? Yeah.
Yeah, he is definitely out of those 4 the one that you got to keep your eye on.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, running back.
Right, so we've all kept 4, so that means we've sacrificed somewhere else. So we'll see where that is. But yeah, running backs. Maybe this is it. Go on, Mark. You start.
Well, I have 3. I've taken 3 running backs, which could be where there might be some sacrifice because Sai has gone with 4. How many have you got, Gav?
I've gone with 3 as well, and it pains me with the 3, with the one I've cut, which I really wanted to keep.
I'm pretty sure it's going to pain me as well, who it is. But Ketts, how many have you kept?
I've kept 4 in the end. I think it was 3, but then I realised I'd miscalculated and left somebody off, so I had to rejig the 53 again.
Well, why don't you go with your 4 then, Ketts? I'm interested.
So I have kept Jalen Warren, Rico Dowdle, Eli Heidenreich
Ooh.
and Lou Nichols.
Wow.
Whoa, you've kept Heidenreich. Even I haven't done that.
Okay,
Yeah.
did you watch the all 22 of the special teams this week?
I
can't say I
tried
have.
to, but I didn't notice Heidenreich, I've got to say.
Okay. Don't look at Heidenreich. Look at the blocking in front of him. It was completely non-existent. That guy got steamrolled on every special team, or at least certainly in the first half, on every special teams snap before. As soon as he caught the ball, there was 3 or 4 Jets players in his face. The blocking on special teams has got to get better. I feel like we're committing too many men forward centrally when we're sort of trying to almost rush the punter that's kicking the ball towards us. Then that's leaving the opponent player's kind of goal side, to use a soccer analogy, goal side of us. So therefore, there's no blocks in place for Heidenreich to run into.
Okay, the chat's
So-
blown up saying you should be banned from 53 shows. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to report that to you.
You say it's blown up. It's just Sai. Well, Sai's always going to come up.
Well,
with it.
it's all caps.
Well, shouting loud on the internet doesn't make it true.
That's size thing.
That's fine. He's not here.
Okay.
The rule is you have to be on the show if you want to be heard. He's not. So
Hey, Si's agreed with you on one, by the way. He has also kept Lou Nichols on his.
Yeah. So
But he
my
hasn't
view
kept
was,
Heidenreich.
as I mentioned, pair and a spare. So Warren and Dowdle are the pair, and Lou Nichols is the spare, and then Heidenreich is for special teams and I guess trick plays and whatever else we want to do with him and one of the receivers as well.
I'd like to live in the dimension where that would happen, but unfortunately,
that I would love to see.
Yeah.
I would love to see that.
for that to have happened, I think they needed to use him in a different way in the preseason, which they haven't as yet. And secondly, if they used him in the way they have, which is between the tackles, he'd need to get something through contact, which he has got zero, like nothing, absolutely zero. Like just doesn't punch a hole, doesn't drag players, just goes down at first touch. And for me, it isn't enough. Like I needed to see more. I love the story. He missed time in camp. I just think, unfortunately, at this point, he's a practice squad guy.
Yes.
And that is why I decided to keep Lou Nichols on the roster as well.
Fair. Okay.
Because I feel like Lou Nichols would be kind of RB3 for me. And then Heidenreich's very much... I mean, you could potentially have him as a practice squad elevation kind of guy. That's definitely possible.
Well, that's where I ended up with Nichols. I really wanted... I think if Howard had gone, Nichols is the first name. He's 54 for me, Nichols. I really wanted him to come on. If they hadn't brought in Homer, Nichols made the team. Nichols is, my question going into training camp, where's the beef in the running back room? Nichols is the beef. Like he's a heavyweight, cloud of dust, goal line hammer dude. I like him. He's got energy. He's physical. But I just think the fact that they brought in Homer, who's a veteran special teams guy, for me, the three is Warren, Dowdle, and Homer. And Nichols is on the practice squad.
Yeah, exactly the same for me as well. Homer is not one of my locks. Warren and Dowd are my only 2 locks in that running back room, and Heidenreich and Nichols are my first 2 names on my practice squad here. But yeah, I think the Steelers are going to play this somewhat safe, take the experience of Travis Homer. I don't like it. You can tell in the tone of my voice I don't like it, but ultimately I think it is the smart thing to do. And Sai has agreed with us in Warren Dowdle and Homer, but he does have Lou Nichols making it to the 53 as well. And I love that. And we were ringing the praises of Lou Nichols last year on this show. Like we loved what we saw out of him, and we continue to.
It's purely a numbers game. I think there's definitely, in other years, that there's definitely a clear route that Nichols you'd keep.
Oh, if this guy was, that year before Najee, when it was like James Conner, Benny Snell, Anthony McFarland,
Jalen Samuels,
yeah, Jalen Samuel. I think Lou Nichols absolutely had a chance to rock it in there.
Or if it was the Isaiah Redman and Jonathan Dwyer year, like Lou Nichols would have been like up there with them. It would have been a 3-headed monster, I think. I don't think those guys were that much better than Nichols, or maybe, they did play a few seasons, but I think he's NFL caliber. I do think he is. It just needs that chance.
Yeah.
Do you
Have
want to
we
talk
all
about?
got
Go on.
Caleb Johnson on the practice squad, or have we cut him completely?
I've got him. Yeah. Well, thank you for not bearing it. We've all cut Caleb Johnson. Everyone's cut Caleb Johnson. Now, he had a lot of rub in this game. What do we think about the performance? He was the leading rusher, by the way. He had 10 attempts for 39 yards with a 3.9 yard average. I mean, that's not terrible. Did he do enough to survive?
He's just so uninspiring, isn't he? And it's so, I don't know what he has to do other than, I mean, he's not a guy who bursts out and will wow you with his speed and whatnot. But it's just so underwhelming at this point. And leading rusher in this game, okay, but when did he come in? Like, it's just, I'm kind of just. It's so bad to say about a guy who's just in his second year, but I just don't see it. I've not seen it.
You never saw. You didn't see it. You weren't a believer in the draft. I was. I liked the tape from Iowa. You didn't, did you?
I don't think I hated it. I just, I definitely wasn't as on board as you were.
I think the Iowa tape just shows you actually sometimes it's the O-line rather than the running back.
Yeah, I thought he had some vision and he did have a kind of upright running style, and sometimes I'm a little bit drawn to that because, you think of Dickerson and dudes like who's the white what's his name from the Bucks that just moved. Anyway, there's dudes that run like
Rashad
that.
White.
Rashad White, thank you. The dudes that run like that I think of are different and like a bit special, and I quite like them. And I thought he was one of those guys, like a slashing zone guy that could do some stuff in space as well, get around the edge. And in fact, his best play, not just in this game, but maybe ever, was that outside run to start the third quarter for 5 yards. I thought he did gain some yards through contact and extended as well to almost get a first down. But that's what it's like with Caleb Johnson. He just doesn't quite get it done. It's like good, but not good enough. So yeah, for me, it's like a sunk cost fallacy at this point. Like, yes, you spent a draft pick on him, but a third round. Was it third round? I mean, it's so high. What a shame. But at this point, I think there's better players, but not even necessarily at the running back position, but other positions that I want to keep, like Howard, for instance.
Exactly. Yeah. I'd say it's harsh for a second rounder, but that's kind of the world we live in now with this. And
Gary's put a great question saying, looking at your 53s, who are your 5 inactives week 1? We'll have to come back to that. That's a good question.
Yes, we will, yeah.
Who's going to remember that? Someone needs to remember that. Just while we're on the chat, Sai says, does Rooney regret calling Eli the greatest 7th round pick the Steelers ever made? No, I don't think so, because it was a great moment, right? It was a draft moment. Usually the 7th round just slips by. There was a real Pittsburgh moment.
I thought the greatest 7th round pick we ever made was Chris Aludican. Oh, maybe not. Could have taken Brock Purdy. Right. Wide receivers. This is going to be interesting. Ketts, how many wide receivers are you taking?
I've taken 6 on the team, 2 in practice squad.
Gav, how many wide receivers?
6 or so. And it's the 6 you're expecting.
Okay. I had an internal struggle with this for one particular reason, and I tossed and turned it, and I put people in and out, and I thought I was set earlier this afternoon, and then Simon Winstanley sent his 53, and it inspired me.
Flag on the play. Whatever you're going to say, there's a flag on the play.
It inspired me to do this because I now know I'm not going to be alone in this. I have 5 wide receivers. Sai has 5 wide receivers.
I did think about
We
this.
are not taking Roman Wilson.
Right.
I'm done. I think I loved him coming out of the draft like you did, Gav. But everything I've seen from him, as much as he seems to be this weird camp darling that. Word that a bit differently, but summer camp darling that seems to shine, on these reports and everything. As soon as it gets out onto the field,
I thought you were making a comment about his weird butterfly tattoo there.
Oh well, yeah. There's a lot of comments, so maybe. But yeah, as much as all of that, as soon as he gets out onto the field, it's just issue after issue, and I know he's been hampered with injuries, but it's year 3, and those 2 mistakes again, it's just highlighting some of the issues that we're seeing constantly out of Roman Wilson. And so, while I ultimately do think me and Si might actually be wrong about this, I said it earlier in the year about when we did the questions in training camp, and you've kept it on the spreadsheet, and it is there for the world to see that I said that Roman Wilson wouldn't make this 53-man roster. I have decided I'm going to back that up. So my 5 wide receivers are DK Metcalf, Michael Pittman Jr., Germany Bernard, Ben Skoranek, and Kevin Weechin.
Fair enough, and I understand, and I did consider doing it, but I got scared. I got cold feet because
that's what I did. That's exactly what I did.
Because
as much as this morning I thought I was going to put him back in, but yeah.
The one wild card here is they could try and they often do pick up on cut downs. They do pick someone up, so they could cut Wilson and pick up a different receiver, and that's a possibility, right? Because you get looking at this here, you've got 2 established. I mean, Wilson, he's not even an established veteran, so I don't even know what if my point stands. But at least it feels like he's had some experience. You've got DK and Pittman, who are your 1 and 2. Bernard, a rookie. Scrobo, who's had moments as a gadget guy, contributed here and there, but is more of a special teamer, and we love him. I'm not saying it's a bad thing, and then you've got Weechin, who is again another special teamer gadget guy. You haven't got that many established receivers to cut Wilson. You're really thinning your ranks, and we saw what happened with these jabronis on special teams. On the the 3rd and 4th string that couldn't catch a cold. So it's pretty risky for me. I think I'm not quite done with Wilson. I think there's something there, but we haven't seen it.
Can we just go and get Juju back, please, for the love of God and all that's holy?
Well,
he's on the street.
With a knee.
He's there. He's the perfect guy this team needs. Physical over the middle.
He's got 1 knee.
I'd rather have Juju with 1 knee than Roman Wilson with 3 or 4 knees and however many extra hands he wants to grow. At least Juju does a job for the team. Roman Wilson's a liability out there.
Jason agrees. He's cutting Wilson. Seems like
there you go.
Yeah, I think it's definitely a possibility, but I do think if they do, they have to bring someone in. They have to. They can't. You can't go in with this 5 with 3 dudes that aren't even really proper receivers. No offense to anyone.
But I guess the other defense for Roman Wilson is in this preseason, we haven't seen him with Aaron Rodgers, and he seems to be, from what you see from the Rodgers kind of camp, a bit of a Rodgers guy. So. Is Aaron going to want to keep him on there?
We've seen Rodgers balling him out, though, for not doing the right thing as well.
That is true, but he's done that a lot. And, rightfully so.
Yeah, but we know that's the main thing that Rodgers values over any kind of other athletic trait. That's why Randall Cobb came to the Jets, right? It's like, I don't care what you bring, what your upside is. I just want you to be where I want you to be. And Wilson clearly isn't after that the Jets game. He's not there. He's not in the right spot.
If during this season we hear that Rodgers isn't throwing to Bernard because he's a rookie, then I'm going to get mad.
He apparently did chew out Bernard. I think we talked about this on the pod, actually, that he did chew out Bernard at one point for a missed assignment of some sort. So, he's already had that earwagging, but Bernard's not going anywhere. Like he's, it's just will he get the targets? But yeah,
it's got to be eased in. Rookies have to be eased in. You can't put it all on their shoulders straight away.
No, and this is 1 year of Aaron Rodgers. After that, Bernard doesn't even have to worry about it. So
is this taking some of the luster off of Omar Khan? He's picked Johnson and Wilson, 2 players that should be contributing now. This is where you need them to contribute, and they're not. They're busted picks, both of them.
I feel like it. I really do. Although, you've still got them in the 53. You've still got Wilson in the 53.
Out of necessity, out of need. It's just,
yeah, it's a worry. Kane Weechin, can we just talk, because I had 4 wide receiver locks, and then Weechin, I don't think is a lock for this team now.
Whoa.
He had the no, hear me out. So he had the really awkward fumble on the return that luckily
That's a rookie
is
mistake.
definitely a rookie mistake. But I just think there's some hesitancy about Wheatgen. Like, we haven't seen these big bursts. I do think, there are.
Have you forgotten the first game?
Yeah, no, absolutely. That one player side. I've seen a lot of it as of yet. And I'm just wondering if there might be some and erring, because McCarthy hasn't had glowing things to say about Wheatgen either. Seems a little cold when talking about him. I do think he makes a 53, don't get me wrong, but I do think if there's one person to maybe keep an eye on, potentially it could be him. I don't know. It would be a shock. 4th round guy not making it after all this, but I don't know. Weirder things have happened. So
I think it'd be a huge shot. They drafted him to be a return specialist first, and then let's see what we can get out of him as a receiver. He's been giving us 20 odd yards per return. I think he's looked better than any other rookie that's come in to do return jobs. So I'd be amazed if they cut him.
I'd be shocked, but I'm just saying, I think there's some rumblings out there that, might not all be as rosy as you think. That's all. And I do think McCarthy has been somewhat cold with him. So
okay.
I just hope Omar Khan does have an idea, or has an eye on, any of these wide receivers that are being cut, because if there's any that are in any way halfway competent, I think they could be of some use in this room, because I don't trust a lot of it. I don't trust Roman Wilson. Scobro's good on his day, but he's limited. Bernard is hopefully the future, and if Wheatgen's got the return upside, but we could still do with an out-and-out reliable sort of 3rd, 4th receiver.
Well, here's a one for you. So Kevin Patra of NFL has released a kind of list of cut candidates and potential targets to look at. Let me just go through the wide receivers on this list. I'll go one at a time.
Is this on Twitter?
No, this is on the NFL website.
Huh.
He's uploaded this. So let me just go through some of these that he think may be cut candidates in their own teams, and see if there's any that you would want to jump on. So he has highlighted Mecole Hardman out of Buffalo. There's a potential cut there
in this week's game.
Yes, he will be in this week. Yeah, I forgot we played for the Bills there for a second. Yep. Mecole Hardman. Haven't heard anyone go wild for that one. Cedric Tillman at Cleveland.
Oh, I'd like that one. Yeah, that would be good.
Yeah, I mean, he has had an injury, undisclosed, that's kept him away a little bit, and obviously Cleveland have really boosted their receiver room. So potential there. Who was the next one? Tutu Atwell.
I think Cy would like that, not for me. I think we've got enough gadgety dudes as we have.
Yeah. Odell Beckham, I'm not going to entertain that one, I don't think. I don't think that's...
He's a guy you bring in week 10. Right?
Yeah, exactly. If you're looking to... And then, God, an old name here that might potentially be on the cut list here, Christian Kirk, who is currently at San Francisco.
That's the one.
Yeah,
that's the one. We've said that so many times
every year.
It seems and with Stribling looking good there, and Debo obviously going back.
He'd be a perfect fit with Rodgers. Good, crisp route runner. Not necessarily the most athletic or speedy, but kind of reliable. Bit dull, but be in the right place at the right time.
Yeah, could be.
Could be a show. Who does it say for the Steelers, by the way?
I can tell you. It says. Oh, go on.
Yeah. Oh, no, yeah, I was going to say, it's, I've just gone off the thing now, but it's Caleb Johnson was obviously one of them.
Yep.
The Malik Harrison was in there, and Brojo.
Yeah, interesting. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, the Malik Harrison line is not very long, I'll tell you, that much, but yeah. So, okay, so they're the wide receivers. So you've taken 6, Gav, you've taken 6 Ketts, and myself and Si have taken 5.
Just while we're here, any love for any of these other receivers that we watched in this game? We had Winstead was maybe the highlight, 2 of 2 for 32 yards, but I'm not sure there was enough there for even the practice squad. Keeney James, 1 of 3 for 5 yards. Hurleman, this wasn't a great Hurleman game.
Not the ideal Hurley man. Yeah.
1 of 2 for 3 yards. Enoch Powell, Cornell Powell, 0 of 2. It wasn't great. I mean, he's a big dude, but yeah, the same problems. No speed. Doesn't seem to quite have it. Bernard didn't 0 of 1. He's not he's making it. Wentz, this wasn't a great game for Wentz, 0 of 1, and then Joe Davis, whoever he is, 0 of 1. So any of these guys, Hurleyman, is he the one?
I mean, the amount of times you said, who is this guy? I think that kind of sums that up. Yeah, this wasn't a strong Hurleyman case. I have got Hurleyman making my practice squad, but really nothing else other than that.
I think Hurleyman looked better last preseason than this one. Do you agree?
Yeah, well, I think he looked okay last week as well. I think he was all right last week, but this week, to be fair, I don't think many people look good this week. So
Phil
goes against Buffalo.
Sorry, Phil's pointed out, didn't we nearly trade for Kirk a couple of years ago? Yes, we did. Yeah.
Yes, correct. So could easily. I mean, it's new regime and everything, but could easily find his way into Pittsburgh.
It's a good one. It's a good catch. That yeah.
I've got Brandon Smith on my practice squad, the same as Hurleyman for the time being.
Yeah, I've got Smith as well.
I've got Smith. Yeah,
he's an obvious. Would any chance they keep Smith over Wilson? Surely not. He's like a boundary outside guy. Wilson's a different player.
Yeah, I did sneak Roman into my practice squad. I don't know why. I'm pretty sure he's gonna be claimed if he's not cut. So yeah, I don't know. Yeah, that's kind of a bold practice squad guess there. Anyway, tight ends.
Let's do it.
Now, of traditional tight ends, I've got 3.
Same here.
But then obviously there is
the tight end fullback.
Yes,
blocking
who
weapon.
I assume you have got, Gav. And
first name on the list. He was.
Yeah, I too have that man in. I haven't actually got him down as a lock, but I think that's it's probably closer to a lock than it is a bubble. But I don't know. There could be weird things about there. He's a rookie and like a lower round rookie, so I don't know. But yeah, Frymouth, Washington, Tonyan, Nowakowski, all have made my team.
Yeah, Nowakowski for me is making his team, no question. Tonyan he's done enough, surely, hasn't he?
He has, yeah. Again, he wasn't a lock for me. Only Muth and Washington were locks for me, but I do think Robert Tonyan has done enough to make this team, certainly. I think he's him and Howard have linked up really nicely. So, I think Rogers want to keep him around, good old friend of his. So, good on him. Hopefully it's not a Jonnu Smith style experience with him, but I don't think it will be. I think he's different player. So.
Different player. As I said, I think he's good enough at everything, which is a tight end is a kind of everything position, and he's kind of above average or average at everything, and that's useful. So let's keep him about. I'd
certainly trust throwing to him more than receivers we've just discussed.
Yeah. Yeah, and we see the way the league's going. They might get 3 of these guys out there, and one of them probably Nowakowski, but let's hope there's no injuries, but there may be an injury to one of the other 2 guys, and Tonyan can fill in perfectly well, and you probably wouldn't skip a beat. So it makes sense to keep him. He seems like a pro-level NFL player, doesn't it? It's not like he's not like a risky kind of, there's an upside guy. It seems like, no, he's wins above replacement. Is he a replacement level player? Yes, but he can replace all of the tight ends, and that has value. I think he could even replace Nowakowski at a push. So, I think he's a sensible keep.
I do want to shout out Lake McCree. He is in my practice squad. I do actually think he's looked pretty decent, even outside of the great catch of Drew Allers. Obviously, I was high on him out of the draft as well, but I do think he's done very well for himself. Not to the level of making the 53, but I do think he's secured himself a practice squad space.
Definitely put some nice tape out there. Nice hands, strength through the catch, ball tracking, and that toe tap that you don't see tight ends do that all the time. So a bit of a pass catching tight end, there's something to be said for that. Did drop that seam ball in the 4th quarter, which was a shame.
Yeah, that was. Yeah, I was kind of, oh no, after all the good stuff. But I do think he's practice squad and could get elevated at some point. But any kind of difference for you there, Ketts, or?
No, for me, I think it was quite straightforward with the 3 or 4 of those, depending on if you've got Nowakowski as a fullback or tight end. Either way.
Yeah, cool. So numbers wise, before we go into the O line, then for offense. So what have I got? 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 so far for me on offense. I was trying to figure out how many you guys have, but kind of struggling
I've
on
got
my
17. I've got 17.
You've got 17 there, Gav.
Yeah, 4, 3,
Yeah.
6, and 4. Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. Okay, so you guys got a little bit more, and then we're going into O line here.
Yeah.
How many O line have you kept there, then, Gav?
Well, this is the tricky point, but how I reasoned this logic, I went with 8, which is low, right? That is low. But how I reasoned it is they have enough on the practice squad to fill in. So
okay.
I went with an 8 of Fautanu, McCormick, Frazier, Anderson, Ihanacho, Brojo makes the team still, Cook and Dunker, and then just jam a lot of dudes like Hoffman, Nestor, McCullum. Who else have I got here? Oh, I thought I kept more than that. Okay, so I've kept 3. I thought I would have kept... My initial plan was to keep more. Driscoll and who was
Jones?
that? Crippen. I was going to keep
Crippen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe this is a little bit risky of me here, but I feel like Jones. I wish they'd try him out at guard, Brojo, because I think maybe I don't know. Do you want to keep moving him around? But I'm not sure I want him at tackle. And then that would allow you to have, you're going to have Ihanacho back to work in. Anderson's got position flexibility. You've got Cook to fill in. Dunker's got position flexibility. I just think you could, in a push, you want to have your 5, but you've got enough dudes with a little bit of position versatility to move around. And then you've got a couple of guys like Nestor and Hoffman and McCullum have all done enough to make the team, actually. But you've got them on the practice. But have they done enough to be claimed? You remember you've got... For a team, every team is going through this right now, what we're going through here, where you don't want to cut 54, 55, 56, 57, right? You don't want to cut them. So no one's going to come and claim Doug Nestor or Brock Hoffman or Ryan McCullum, right? So you have McCullum. Size just asked who's backup centre. McCullum's backup centre, and you elevate him.
Is he?
He's on the practice squad. Or you have Hoffman. Right, one of those two dudes.
That's who I think.
Yeah, and I think even Spencer Anderson could play centre. Yeah. I just think you don't plan for that emergency. You deal with it when it happens. So, and in another year, you want 10 O linemen. 9 is short. 8 is like historically low. I realize I'm making a push here, but there's the roster is a weird thing, and we want to keep 4 quarterbacks this year. And I don't think outside of our kind of starters, excluding left tackle, I think this is all a movable parts thing, and we've got some people on the practice squad that could fill in.
That's fair. I mean, I've taken 9 myself. I've the 8 that you've said there. I have thrown Hoffman in. I do think Hoffman is the backup centre. I think he's centre 2 on this team. I don't know if I've seen enough out of McCollum for him to hold that role. And you've got versatility with Hoffman as well. You got, versatility with Hoffman, versatility with Anderson, versatility with the likes of Fautanu, and McCormick could play both guard areas, maybe potential versatility with Dunker as well. It's great to see that Ihanacho and Dunker, by the way, might be playing this week. That's really positive. I really want to see those guys out there. Obviously, we've seen a bit of Dunker, but good to have him back. And then, actually seeing Ihanacho out there is going to be a joy. There's been a lot of rave reviews about him, by the way. I did end up taking Brojo, which I didn't think to begin with I would have, but then, I've not got him as a lock on here, but there's just... I don't know. Are we just kind of clutching at the straws that we refuse to clutch for Roman Wilson and Caleb Johnson? maybe, but I mean, this is a first round pick that we're talking about instead of those guys. And is there something still there? It's weird with Brojo. It really, really is. Like, I don't know. Some snaps he looks absolutely fine, and then some he just looks like he's just completely turned off. It's so weird, the inconsistency from him. It's really extreme at times. So, but yeah, I've settled on those 9. I think Hoffman has done enough to make it. I just don't think McCullum has. I couldn't stretch to 10 outside of that. I've got Nestor, I've got McCullum on there. I've got the other Jones as well in my practice squad. But yeah, what about you, Ketts?
I kept the same 8 as Gav, but listening to the arguments, I'm wondering if I should have dropped Heidenreich and put Brock Hoffman in there instead.
I think that, I would have had Hoffman ahead of Heidenreich. Sorry, Ketts. But
I've got McCullum and Hoffman and did I go Stephen Jones or Greg? I think I went Stephen Jones in the end as like those 3 in the practice squad. Oh, and I've got Doug Nestor as well, actually. So I've got 4 on the practice squad. So plenty of flexibility there.
I'm getting heat from Phil in the chat. Hoffman makes it surely. Can't call up a practice squad halfway through the game. Fraser goes down in the first quarter. Who plays centre? Yeah, that's a problem. I think it's Spencer Anderson moves over. You shuffle around. You bring someone. Who would you bring in? Dunker, maybe. You bring him in to play guard. You put Anderson at centre, which he did do at Maryland. And then on the practice squad, I've got 3 potential. You've got Nestor, Hoffman, and McCullum that would be vying for to start that next game. Whoever the brain trust thinks it probably is. I would actually think I'd put McCullum above Hoffman at centre. I thought Hoffman was getting pushed back too much in the preseason. That's why I've cut him. I thought he was giving up ground. I didn't like his anchor. And then I also on the stream you can see his Dallas history. He was a practice squad guy that constantly got reactivated, and I think that's what he's going to be for the Steelers. I don't think he's a starter. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's why I went with 8 over 9. I thought there's just other positions where I felt it would be more useful. But I agree. If Frazier goes down in a game, it's going to be awkward. But sometimes you've got to make sacrifices, and I made a sacrifice.
That's a hell of a sacrifice to make. Sai's gone with the same 9 as me as well. He's got Hoffman in his offense, so he's got 26 names on his offense. I have got 25. So what does that leave you with 26 then, Gav?
I've got 25.
You've got 25, sorry, because you had 17.
Mm-hmm.
So you've got 26, Ketts?
Got 26, yeah.
Yes. Okay. So Ketts and Sai, 1 ahead of us on the offensive side of the ball, so they'll have 1 less on defense. So interesting to see there. D-line. Let's go over to the defense. I've got 6 on the D-line.
Hang on, sorry, one second.
Oh, yes.
Just want to go back to the performance of the O-line in the Jets game.
Yes, that is interesting. Maybe I wanted to overlook that at times. Although I don't think the starters were horrible.
Is Mason McCormick the best run blocker on this team right now?
Think so?
No.
Who do you think?
I don't know who is necessarily, but I saw 2 instances just to bring it up. So he overcommitted, allowing a gap to form behind him when he was kind of moving across the line laterally, blowing up a run, and he missed a block at the second level, which led to Dowdle being tackled on an inside run as well. So if he is, there's at least 2 instances in this game where run fits or run blocks or whatever he wasn't there for. So,
well, who's the other answer? Is it Frazier?
It's got to be Frazier. Frazier's the best player on this O-line. Yeah.
It might be Frazier, but I think McCormick's getting decent push. But I think it shows you that this is a pass protecting line, or they're trying to build a pass protecting line with some run game in the middle. But I think Anderson's just kind of an everything man.
Did you think this run game lacked sort of that push and that second level blocking in particular? Because I saw that on a few occasions where I thought the second level's just not there, and the linebackers just easily, making the tackle. At one point, you had Mount Washington playing essentially right tackle, and the right guard and the actual right tackle blocked the same guy, and then the nobody climbed to the second level to block the linebacker. So you had all the way on the right-hand side, you had Washington, who's a tight end, remember, doing an absolutely sterling job at right tackle. And then you had the right tackle and the right guard both blocking the same guy and nobody kind of shedding him to go and get the guy that came in to make the inevitable tackle. I thought it was really interesting watching some of the old 22 this
Also,
week.
why has Washington lost weight, by the way? Don't do that. We want you.
More weight, add weight. 400 pounds.
Please. God.
It wasn't 500 pounds.
This team, does it lack a road grader?
Can I see Dunker play and get back to you?
Okay, well, yeah, he's a ways away yet. But yeah, it needs a road grader. Maybe that's what Dunker is. But yeah, I was going to say they need a draft pick to sprinkle in. But yeah, maybe Dunker's the guy and will develop.
Yeah,
so, yeah, you're right.
I would love this team to take another guard as well and just really make that. Like, I don't know if I want a first round guard necessarily, but like a second. Yeah, please. I'd be
guard or tackle. Someone just to like pave the way.
Can't just keep drafting tackles.
I know.
Then we're going to end up with 7 first round.
Yeah, well, maybe
What
they
are you,
can
Matt
get
Williamson? Yeah, you can't. Yeah.
Maybe they get some capital back for Jones. Let's talk about him, Brojo. 2 sacks. Was he credited? Was he at fault for in this game? And the one in the fourth quarter. Dude's a first round pick. No way he should be giving up an inside sack to people that are going to be moving pianos in a couple of months.
That piano mover was hell. It was a hell of a player. It's incredibly worrying. The fact that he's out there as much as he is as well is very odd. Like didn't he start this game as well?
Yeah, he was out there the whole damn time. They're stress testing him.
So yeah, I'm majorly concerned. I mean, as I say, I've still got him on this roster, but I think this is it for him now. Like this is
last chance to win.
I get it. Like. And you talk about him playing at guard, but again, you're moving him there, and it's all a bit of a mess for him. But like, what do you do with him? Like, it's so weird, and the way we've kind of drafted after drafting him as well, and how many people we've brought into this team. It's a concern. It really, really is.
If this was his rookie season, and you watch, I think you shared in the chat the cut up of all of Jones's plays. I'm not sure if I can
Ketts
play
did,
that on the stream or not. Yeah, thanks, Ketts. That was good.
Yes, it's not me. It's Tommy Jaggy.
Tommy
He's the guy.
Jaggy. Yeah,
if you're not following him on Twitter, some of the cut-ups he does on wide receivers and the O-line and D-line, well worth the follow.
I wish I understood YouTube's rules better. I'd love to be able to play it now, but I feel like we get a takedown. But it was interesting because if it was his rookie season, you'd be like, hey, yeah, this is good. But because it's his, like, what is it, third year?
Third year.
Uh-oh, sound's gone. Interesting. Why is sound gone? Hang on, let me check it. I've just got a message that sound has gone. Hang on.
Oh no, the YouTube sound has gone. Obviously, audio.
Okay,
listeners
now I've
here,
got audio here, so I don't know what that is. Hang on.
Does anyone have any?
No, that might be a
issues?
Simon problem. I've got the YouTube stream.
Oh no, Gary was the one.
Oh, it's Gary. Sorry, Gary. It might be. Yeah. Anyway, let's carry on. But it's the fact that it's just not developed, right? It's not. What is it? Third year? It's like, why are we still doing a whole, with the 4 stringers in the preseason game? And the movement skills are there. Some of the blocking's there, but I don't know. What is he a cut candidate? Really?
I'm hoping we get a trade offer for him. Let someone that thinks they can develop him. 3rd round pick, something like that. You're not going to go first for him, but if you get a 3rd, snap someone's hands off and then don't pick some of the 3rd round picks we've listed in this podcast so far.
Yeah.
But who's going to trade for him necessarily after, he's put this tape? Maybe they've put him out there with the view that, well, if he puts some good tape, we might attract a trade offer. But then he's performed like he has and he's just, shooting himself in the foot a little bit. I don't know. It's tough.
It is tough. What?
He was raw coming out of Georgia, though, wasn't he? He was raw coming out, but he's just, like you say, he's just not developed and not improved.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's the problem. Yeah, it's just the development has just not been there.
The majority of those snaps looked okay, like they weren't terrible.
That's the thing. I think there's some good in there, and you can see why I think for the athlete that he is, I think that's why we took him in the first round, despite how raw he was. And you can see that, but it's just not. It does feel like watching a rookie yet again. You know,
80% of it's fine, but the 20% is going to cost you the game.
But what is it? What do you think it is? I was watching that cut up going, right, where's the issue? Hand placement seems okay. Foot movement's good. Like he's...
Power and leverage for me.
Yeah.
I just don't think he...
Yeah, maybe it's
I think he
power.
lacks it.
But in pass protection, sometimes, you know, you don't want to overpower because then you get over your toes and you get extended. He's not getting beat like that. It's just... But the weird thing is, you know, I thought he was covering ground, but then you see him getting run around the arc and losing out and then extending.
If you're going to get run around, you've got to get the leverage right and push the guy out of the way of the quarterback. And he doesn't do that. He kind of just allows the pressure to get to where it wants to go.
I know it's a cliche. I just think move him to guard at this point.
Mm.
You know, it's like, you know, we've seen it so many times with failed first round tackle picks, but I think it's the move. I think it would just stop him being put on an island and being expected to go up against team best, you know, David Bailey or these other guys that are the best pass rusher on the team. It's not fair. Just move him inside, let him do his thing. He's got good movement skills. He's got the basketball background. He can break downhill, you know, blow up a DB or a linebacker, and we'd all love him. I just think we've give up on him being a tackle. Weight is the problem, says Mickey Gigb. What's he listed out there? 3'11", too heavy, you think?
He looks like he's lost weight though.
Yeah,
he?
He's been up and down.
Have you seen it? Like, yeah, he looks really trim, which is not ideal, I don't think. But yeah, out of 132 preseason plays, he's played 103.
Yeah, because you'd say he's too heavy, but then he moves well, but he's got no power. So he is just a kid. He will come back by the middle of the season. Well, I hope you're right. We'll see. We've all been hoping that for a long time. But yeah,
him playing that much must mean that this team, despite the fact that he's obviously up against Jags as well, this team must still think there is something there. Like even the new guard must think there's something there. We just have to unlock it and keep it consistent.
Right, he lost 25 pounds. Yeah, that may be it, and that may be throwing him off. Yeah, he can't put his weight behind the blocks and everything. Maybe, and it's the same thing of him moving from right to left. Like, what is he? Like, he's just not comfortable. You can just see it. He's not in the zone, is he? He's all over the place. He's thinking it. He's in his head. I don't think they should cut ties just yet.
It's one of them, isn't it? You keep O-line around and just hope that it comes off. That's you know, it's like what Matt Williamson always says every year: just draft the O-line. Just take a guy and hope that he works out either as a tackle or if not as a guard or whatever. So you've just got to keep those trenches investment wise.
Yeah. Gary's saying shop window him. Like, what do you think we'd get for him? I mean, every team's going to snipe you if you cut him. They're going to snipe. They're going to take a shot on a former first-round pick. But what are they actually going to trade at this time of year when every team's trying to work out how to keep their players so exciting from the preseason?
Is anyone desperate?
I'm not sure. Yeah, maybe later. If you keep him, you hold on to him now, and then some crap tackle goes down, and week 4, and then they're like, let's give it a shot.
I don't think you're getting anything.
I think later you might get a trade deal later in the season.
But yeah, even then, are you getting any more than a 5th? Like,
yeah.
What would you take for him now? If you've got
Gary saying a 6th.
on the table?
I don't know, man. Like you're not getting a tackle. You're not getting a tackle at 6th with a 6th. Like, 2 pebbles and Shakur Sanders, says Jason. I mean, we don't need 5 quarterbacks on this team, Jason. Right, let's move on to the defense. We've talked enough about
but just very quickly before we've got some somewhat breaking news. The Pro Bowl game has been abolished.
Whoa, that is to be replaced with what?
I don't think there is anything. I think there's no games, no Pro Bowl. It's literally just going to be. There will still be Pro Bowl nominations and awards given out for such, but yeah, the game is gone.
Good. The game had gone 10 years ago.
Was it ever a thing? I mean,
it was when Sean Taylor was still blowing people up like, in the thing. It used to be fun, but I think.
So now what should the NFL do with that? Are they going to hype up the awards? What are they going to do in that?
Have a nice
gooch?
dinner, black tie dinner. Film it. Job done. Don't overthink it.
What's that dinner? That's the Hall of Fame dinner. I'm thinking of. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, just do something nice like that. But yeah. Anyway, just thought I'd break that. But D-line. Sorry, as I was saying before. So I have 6 D linemen going through here. Does anybody have any more than that? Any less than that?
I'm saying 6.
I have 5.
Ooh, go with your 5 there. I sound like I'm on countdown. Give us your 5 first, Ketts.
I've got Derek Harmon, Yaya Black, Cam Hayward, Gabriel Rubio, Keanu Benton.
Okay, you've cut Sebastian Day.
I've practiced
Joseph Day, sorry.
As a verb. Yeah.
The smiliest man in the world, and you've cut him.
You can smile on my practice squad. It's fine. I just think this 5 is brilliant. Like,
is it too little? Though? Is that too few for a D line? Like,
yes, they like rotation.
I've got guys that can come in and do a job. I just think these 5 are absolutely fantastic. Black's pass breakup, strength and power in this game, absolutely fantastic. Benton, strong at the line of scrimmage, great hand fighting at the point of attack, stack and shed ability. And none of this is with Cam Hayward playing in any of these games. And I think this defense is going to be kind of stop the run at the front. And I think with those 5, you can do that. In terms of the pass rush, you've got the upside from the linebackers, both inside and outside. I think we're going to see a lot more blitzing. And then I think I've capped a lot of my defensive positions for the secondary, to be honest with you. But I think those 5 on the 53, and then Joseph Day and Dean Lowry I've got on my practice squad. I'm happy with that. Might be a bit light. I don't disagree with that.
I get what you're saying. He's not really showed out in the preseason, but they brought him in for a reason. He's a veteran, been around the league, and he does. I think he works with the system, and I think more than anything other, the rotation on the D line, the interior is really important. They just need that stamina, and they need 6. I just would be really surprised if they didn't go into the season with 6. So for me, it was a quick conversation about Lowry, and the thing I like about Lowry is his extension, the way he locks out his arms. That's a really, really strong part of his game. But there's other parts of the game that aren't as good. He's not so athletic, and like he's got no real pass rush. But he can, you can see him when everyone bursts out of their snap. Sometimes Lowry's guy is going back further because of his arm extension, and that is a plus point. But for me, it's Sebastian Joseph Day makes this team, and they keep in 6.
Yeah, I've gone with the same as has Sai. Lowry was kind of in and out of my team as well. It was close bringing him in there, but ultimately, with the numbers that I had, I just thought, no, he's probably practice squad fodder, if that. So, yeah, I think Joseph Day. We haven't seen has he been injured? He has been injured, hasn't he? I believe.
I think he was at the beginning.
Yeah, so haven't seen a whole lot of him, but I do think he's probably solid enough to stay here. Gabriel Rubio, by the way, big shout out. Not the perfect game this one, but still with its moments in there. I still think he looked very strong at points in this. Him and Black together look like a fab duo. So I think he's definitely done enough to secure a 53 spot. He's not a lock on here for me, but I do think he's definitely done enough to definitely raise those alarms for the Steelers coaches to bring him in. So.
Oh, definitely. He's impacting when he's in. The pursuit tackle in the third quarter against the Jets. He's no slouch. He can move like that. That was surprising. I've never seen that on his tape. Like he chased rushed her down from behind. So that's just another string to his bow. I just love the 2-gap ability. I love the arm width that he's got, the wide base, the stack and shed. Rubio is an absolute lock for me. Absolute lock.
I tell you what, we talk about some of these picks being misses the last few years, but Rubio's 6th round, Yaya Black 5th round the last 2 years. That's, roster improving, steals in the draft, absolutely fantastic. Well
Strength
done.
of this team for about 20 years has been the D-line. And they know what they're doing. And I'm not a genius when it comes on to picking these guys in the draft. I've just worked out what the Steelers look for, and that's what I look for. That's how I found Rubio. That's how I found Black.
You think going back 3 years, this, we were looking at Cam Hayward retiring soon, and we're like, what's this line going to look like in 3 years? My God, have they turned it round and future-proofed it? And like you say, it's going to be a strength for the next few years of this team.
But I mean, even you go back to dudes like Steve McClendon and Tyson Alualu, they just find these guys that are unloved elsewhere because they run a 4-3 or their 3-4 system asks them to do different things. They just find these guys that just like that's a guy that does the dirty business inside and will do what we want, and they bring him in. They have success, Tyson Alualu was a former 1st-round pick and was a bust. That was like a Broderick Jones type cat for the Jags. Steelers brought him in. How long did he play? 5 years and was great on this line.
Yeah.
Isn't it nice that we just haven't got to talk about Loudermilk or Leal? Like, we don't have to have those conversations yet again about these two. Just nugget I thought I'd put in there.
Yeah. Well, Loudermilk was another one I identified in the draft, by the way, before they picked him. Don't forget. And I was always a Loudermilk fan. Leal, on the other hand, they never should have drafted him. That was a mistake from the beginning.
Yes, no matter how. I mean, you were reluctant to put him in your team last year. I will say that, but yeah. Have you seen, by the way, the little bit of Derek Harmon discourse online?
What's happening?
Mostly led by I don't know if you know John Ledyard, who does some draft analysis stuff. Kind of focuses on the Steelers as well. Has the Read Optional podcast. With Ollie Connolly, with the British.
Oh yeah, I have heard of him. Yeah.
Yes, yeah, he has been somewhat critical of Harmon's development. He's got a lot of blowback from this, but he's disappointed at Derek Harmon's lack of improvement in some key areas, which he's kind of highlighted in his most recent podcast.
Which areas exactly?
I think it's on the podcast, but so I haven't fully gone in depth into listening to it, but he has had some issues. Like he said, there were.
Is
some
he complaining
issues
about
in the
his
last
pass
game.
rush? Because if he is, he's an idiot.
I don't. All he said on here. So again, don't know the full deficiencies. We can go back and listen to it, but it says the Derek Harmon reps from last night are not for the faint of heart. Rough. I am just not sure how much better he can get with his athletic deficiencies. Being
He's
a strong
an idiot.
person only gets
He's
you
not
so
an
far
athlete.
in the NFL.
He's not an athlete. Please, man. It's like strength, push, and 2-gap ability. Stack and shed with him.
So that's what he's saying. He's saying being a strong person only gets you so far in the NFL.
He's an idiot. I'm sorry, I don't care what he's got to say. He's an idiot. Forget, move on. Like
I will say, like he has got a lot of pushback from Steelers fans on this. So I think he's very much on an island.
I will take that guy on one-on-one. Like I will explain to him what it is to be a 3-4 defensive end for the Steelers, and athleticism isn't one of the categories that matters. Sorry, go away.
Podcast versus podcast beef was born.
Yeah, I'd recommend you looking into it, and the comments he's the replies he's getting and what he's replying back as well. I mean, he's a big Benton fan, so he can.
He's an idiot. Sorry, Mark. Go and support the New York Giants. Go and support a 4-3 team if you want an athletic D-line. Sorry, it's not.
His main concern apparently is run defense.
Okay, well that's different. That's a different issue. Fine, that's a different issue, and we can talk. But come at me with different reasons rather than athleticism. That's a different issue. All right. Anyway, let's move on. Right, where are we at? Edge position.
Edge. Yes, we're over to edge. I have got 4. Sai has got 4. Have we got the same 4? Is this the least
I have 4.
interesting group to talk about?
Yep.
I have 4.
So no one has Jamin Davis making this team.
No, I had him on practice squad, but I very nearly, like, Jamin Davis is in that 54 to 58 range of players for me. Like, he has really impressed me in preseason. It was so difficult to leave him out, but I just don't think, with everything else that's going on in this team roster wise, I just don't see the avenue for him.
Didn't take over the game versus the Jets like I was hoping. He's going against nightclub bouncers and piano
not
movers.
hugely, but I still think there was some impressive points in there. But that first game against the Packers is still kind of fresh in the mind, just how explosive he could be. So Gary puts a good point in there. How are we going to get Herbig enough snaps to warrant his contract?
Over to you, Patrick Graham.
Yes, exactly. And I think we've seen smatterings of what we could potentially get there. You've seen these 3 edge sets, which I think we were toying with last year, but I've got more faith in Patrick Graham actually being, somewhat good with them than Terrell Austin. So, I think there will be some good sprinklings of Herbig, more so than we've seen last year. And I think he'll just justify his contract with the results of those. I think. Did we already do a preseason guess how many Nick Herbig sacks? I think we potentially did. But
I didn't think this was a great Herbig game, the Jets. I mean, he missed the opening tackle of the game, was shot from a gun, like that, how he does. But those short arms turned up again. What should have been a tackle for loss turned into a 2nd-yard gain for Braylon Allen, your boy Ketts. He goes up against one of those physical bulldozing running backs and they just blaze through his arm tackles, unfortunately. And I thought ineffectual versus the pass. It just wasn't a great game for him. But to answer the question, how are we going to get him enough snaps? I think he's going to be the third. He's going to be the mugger, the third edge guy that's playing up on the line. Possibly could drop, but most likely will rush. And you're going to drop TJ or someone else. To still give you that 4-man or 5-man rush, but you're showing like six-man rush. You don't know who's going to rush. I think that's what Patrick Graham's how he's going to use him, as like a decoy / chess piece. I hope. I'm not sure he's a full-time edge rusher, but Sai's going to hate me for that.
I think you keep him out there on 3rd down. I think you maybe play Sawyer on early downs if you need to, if it's more like run fit. Because I think you're right in terms of the run game element of it. But equally, we're going to see some stuff from the Steelers with players you don't even expect to go and rush the quarterback that have. And we saw it in this game. We saw Jenkins blitzing around the edge and lucky not to get to the quarterback. You saw Carson Bruner blitzing, bull rushing the running back. So there's going to be stuff that happens from other areas of the field. We saw Slaughter get close to a sack in both of these games actually so far. So yeah, there's going to be unexpected stuff and you're going to see people rushing from left, right and centre. So I don't think actually you necessarily need, if Herbig gets 8, 9, 10 sacks this season, I think he's done his job.
You said he'd get 7, by the way, Ketts. I've got the receipt there.
Oh, there you go. If he gets 7, I'm a genius.
I think Sawyer's looked good this preseason. Do you agree?
Yes.
1 sack, 1 tackle for loss, 1 pass defense in this game. Just gone 3 tackles. The nice backside edge seal in the run game. That's the kind of boring ass play that doesn't show up on the highlight reel, but it's so important. Yep. He stopped Nguanu, whatever his damn name is, for 2 yards.
He was so close to getting a pick 6 as well. If that ball that went out almost like as a screen, if he'd have caught that and
that was so close. Yeah,
he's going to get something like that this season.
He looked gutted with himself as well. He was just like, I could have done that. Could have got that. But Mr. Solid is old Jack Sawyer. I think he's. I've got no real concerns with him at all.
Max respect, because I thought he was purely a 4-3 defensive end, and it's turned out this is where I was wrong. He can play outside linebacker at the moment. I think he's developing. They did a good job they did a good job of spotting his ability to do it, and he's doing a good job of adapting to it. So I've got high hopes for Sawyer.
And do you know what? If you've got just to cover off my practice squad as well, Jimin Davis and Mark mentioned this to me actually, but Julius Welshoff for an international pathway.
Oh, he's a lot.
That's an extra. That's an extra practice squad place.
He's number 17.
Practice squad lock. Yes.
Yeah. He's making a team.
So actually, that solves any depth issues that you might have. So
and again, I thought 2 assists, 1 QB hit in this game, which is pretty nice. Pretty close to getting a set, and I think he plays with superior strength compared to the other piano movers. And he's not a Landon Roberts out there who just looks like Superman versus these nobodies. But Welshoff looked like a cut above.
Yeah, he's not international just for the sake of being international. I think there is actually some good play in his game. So
definitely, there's a good drinking game, by the way. If anybody wants to intoxicate themselves, any sort of secondary career that Gav mentions that any of these players on any of these kind of practice squads or whatever could end up doing. So piano mover, nightclub bouncer. Every time he mentions one,
insurance salesman, we've had
insurance salesman. Yeah, good little drinking game there for someone to come up with. Drink responsibly.
Okay.
Yeah. Right. Inside linebackers. Gav, if you lead us off on this, I have got to let a very annoying cat into my house. He is my own cat, just to put that out there.
Okay.
But you lead us off with the linebackers, and I'll come join you back in 1 minute.
Not quite sure I understand what's happening there, but we've got 5 linebackers.
Just letting a cat in. That's all.
A cat in. Okay.
Yes, in. Yeah.
Okay. Fine. Yeah, five linebackers. I think we had 4 linebackers up until Roberts signing. I mean, it was ridiculous. The second half was like a Landon Roberts versus everyone else, wasn't it? It's like every play, and Roberts with the tackle, and Roberts with the pass defense, and Roberts with the sack, and Roberts with the pressure, and Roberts with the blitz, Roberts again with the pressure. I mean, we love the guy, right? We're massive Roberts stands on the show. We've been saying, please come back. It was one of the most depressing games I could remember. No points put up, total depressing. But at least we had Roberts out there.
Yeah.
Do you concur?
So nice to see him back in black and gold. I think that 5 picks itself. So Queen, Peyton Wilson, who is fine, Bruner, Cole Holcomb, and Landon Roberts, and then you have Malik Harrison on the practice squad if he makes it.
He was the first cut for me. I mean, I just don't think he's done enough. And
if the rules allow it as well, because I can't remember. There are certain practice squad rules, aren't there?
They seem to change every year. It was easier when it was just... Yeah. Now there is a certain amount of veteran thing, and I was like, how many veterans can I get on? Obviously, if you could squeeze all these dudes on, then you keep them. But I'm not sure what Harrison has shown. I had high hopes. I liked him in the draft. I thought he was a decent run stuffer with blitz upside. He's not shown any of that. Like, what has he shown? Roberts, on the other hand, is that. He is a run stuffer with blitz upside. He's a physical presence. No one wants to run his way. He's just a fan favourite, and I'm so glad he's here. Bruner, I think, has done is developing nicely.
Carson Bruner is really going up in my estimation. One of my favourite guys out there. Just pure dominance from him. Loved it, and keep developing that. He has the bloodlines with him. The Steelers bloodlines are that as well. We all kind of thought, was it a Nepo pick? But he's really, really showing out to be even more than a special teams guy, potentially. I think he could actually carve out a little bit of a role. Obviously, he's got some stiff competition ahead of him in that linebacker room, especially with the great Landon Roberts back. But
can you imagine how much his heart sank when that Roberts signing came over the newswire?
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
I can imagine it.
But then also getting to play alongside Landon Roberts, I mean, that's got to be terrific for
Gary's
him.
coming with max 4 vets on the practice squad. Let's see if Ketts' practice squad is allowable.
I think mine's illegible.
Illegible.
What counts as vets again?
Well, they're not allowed to go to LSU now, are they? So they've got to do something.
Oh, good. Let's not go too deep into that. God.
Can you think of a preseason game where her player has looked more like Michael Jordan versus the Washington Generals than Landon Roberts?
That's a very good comparison, I think.
I mean, it really highlighted to me. It was so interesting to see. It highlighted to me the drop-off. like the difference. Like when people say, "Oh, well, you're against like hod carriers from the building site," like they're not, they're not real players. That was it. That was a demonstration. Literally, there's a dude out there that is just killing dudes on every single play and just blowing up whatever happens and can see the future and knows what's happening and is unstoppable.
Yeah, just a completely different
world.
level. Why he was out there?
Well, they're just a tune-up game, right? Just a tune-up game for him, just getting back in.
But it's still worrying me.
Check, he's still got it. He's got it.
Good.
Yeah, he's good. Like Roberts is good. Let's go.
Yeah, but yeah, no, I caught the end of what you said about Landon Roberts. I'm so glad he's back, man. Yeah, just what a presence to have on that defense. So happy to get him back, and obviously, he spent a year with Patrick Graham as well. So, good little link up there as well. I feel like I should highlight, by the way. I said I was letting the cat in. Obviously, that sounds a bit weird. So just to clarify, I have one indoor cat and one outdoor cat. So we can't let the indoor cat out. So our outdoor cat will scratch the blocked cat flap to let you know he wants to come back in. So that's why I specifically had to go
That
in.
sounds like chaos.
We've found a system. We found a system.
Why is one not allowed out? Is he slightly psychotic or what's going on?
No, well, yeah, but he's also got like a really sensitive stomach, so we just don't want him risking eating anything and being very sick. Yeah, he's and he will just absolutely peg it somewhere. He's really stupid as well. So yeah, we keep him indoors, but we've got Millhouse has always been an outdoor cat.
He's like a special needs cat.
Yeah, that's
SEN cat, if you like.
I think me and Kathy would probably agree with you, but we also love him dearly. But
hey! But why would you not love? There's no love differential between. Just to
cornerbacks. Let's swiftly move on. We love both our cats, as insane and horrible as they are.
Thanks for joining us on Pussy Corner. Right, let's move on.
Jesus.
No, it's called Cat Chat.
Okay. Right, cornerbacks. Okay, how many you got, Ketts? You got 17.
Can I just check that we are including nickelbacks in this?
Yes.
Do you want to do defensive backs as a whole? Then
you could do. Yeah, we could do.
Combine corner and safety.
We could do.
Okay.
I was going to say, Ketts, hang on a second. You were all for. No,
so I've got, just for completeness, I've got 6 corner/nickelbacks, and I have got 3 safeties.
So you got with 9.
9 in total, yes.
I have gone 10.
I also have gone 10.
6 corner, 4 safety if you're going to split.
Exactly the same. Although Ramsey is somewhere in between, and maybe that's what. Ketts
exactly. And that was a difficult one there to kind of
but I think,
put in there. But defensive backs,
10 total. So who have you cut out of the?
Let's
10?
see why I'm an idiot then. So I've got JPJ, Jamal Dean, Jalen Ramsey, Deshaun Elliott, Jaquan Brisker. I've got Asante Samuel Jr., Dalen Everett, Brandon Eccles, Robert Spears-Jennings.
You've cut Jenkins.
Rayshawn Jenkins, I think, has done enough to make the 53. He has.
Me too.
Made my list. He did not make size. Sai had the same list that you did there, Ketts.
Mm-hmm.
Rayshawn Jenkins, man, like, he was a firecracker in this last game. He was just.
He did very well
coming downhill was absolutely awesome, and I think from what I've heard from camp as well, and just kind of having a look around at the kind of Twitterverse and seeing what people are saying, I think this guy's got enough to make this team. I'm sure you could wax lyrical about him, and particularly from this game.
Absolutely. The problem isn't Rayshawn Jenkins. The problem is he's yet another box safety guy that isn't a free safety, but he did enough to stay around. He's another Deshaun Elliott, Brisker, RSJ. They haven't got a dude to sit back and just be cerebrally tricking the quarterback with a little couple of like ghost steps and then fake it. Who's that guy? They haven't got this guy, but I want this guy on the team. He's an enforcer. He's a downhill weapon. I want to keep him, but I am concerned about the construction of this defensive backfield. I think we are relying. Yeah.
How many times have we seen it chopped and changed, even over the last 2 weeks?
Yeah. I mean, Savage and everything else. I mean, they're relying on Ramsey playing deep safety, playing post safety. Brisker, isn't it? Elliott, who is it? It's not there. It's not on the team. That's the concern. It's a real weakness.
Practice squad, I've got Jenkins. I've also got Slaughter, who I think has had an absolutely fantastic preseason. And then I've got Dante Kent and Sebastian Castro just for special teams upside.
Is Kent going to go to IR? Is he still hurt?
I think he's still on IR.
Yeah. He is on IR currently, isn't he?
Yeah. Kent's. We need to see some Kent. I can't see. He didn't make my practice. Yeah, it's sad. It's a shame, but he didn't make my practice squad.
He snuck in. He's like my 17th, but yeah.
Well, Welshoff's got to be 17 because he doesn't count. So who was your 16th?
Well, Kent is the 16th.
Right, so I had Henderson as my 16th.
So you've got Henderson. I haven't
well,
got Henderson.
it was Henderson or Kent basically. Slaughter was my 15th. Henderson 15th or 16th. Is Henderson another box guy? I mean, the plays that he's made in preseason have all been in the box, haven't they? I'm just desperate for someone.
Free safety, but yeah,
who is?
I was going to say Henderson's listed as a free safety, but I don't think he is.
I'm concerned. This is a problem.
I would be concerned if it was the traditional old school Steelers offense. I trust Patrick Graham to make this work.
Okay. Do you think it's just going to be full time? It's either got to be Ramsey at the back or full time split safety, right? I mean, he said he's a cover two.
I don't know if it has, because I think the movement pre and post snap is good. There's going to be all sorts going on. I don't think you're going to necessarily need someone deep full time.
If you read,
I think you're going to have people dropping, or from sort of a linebacker position and dropping, or going across from corner. I think you're going to see 2, 3, 4 at the back, depending on situations. I think it's going to be very down and distance specific.
If that's the case, then you're going to see some plays this year where the back end is seriously exposed. There's no Minka on this team.
Yeah, I don't think you're wrong, but I just think that's the plan.
Patrick Graham is a cover 2 merchant. He loves cover 2. He said that, and if that's the case, then you can kind of get by as long as you've got good dudes that can cover half the field. And I hope they can. I think Elliott probably can. RSJ can cover half. I don't think either of those can cover the full field, but I think they can cover half a field. I'm not sure about Briscoe. I'm not sure about Jenkins.
I think you might have like Everett and Asante Samuel Jr., I should say, taking some of those roles.
I don't know. I just think it's a bit different.
Let's see. It's going to be a completely new defense. We're going to have to wait and see kind of what we get. I trust the process, though.
You want a player that you can stack the box and leave one dude back in case they do play action. And there is you need to be able to spot that play action and cover that. Have the range to cover, and then the ability to tackle. I don't know who that is on this team.
So if we're looking at a way too early first and second round pick next year, what areas are we targeting?
Well, it ain't safety, because safety is like a cheaper position that you can get later, but they haven't picked up. It's just odd. Like they haven't targeted a free agent, free safety. Like just. Maybe there's none out there. Let's have a look. Hang on. Go on, you talk and I'll look it up.
Yeah, no, I just think it's an interesting question. I definitely think receiver is going to be there or thereabouts. I think O-line, depending on how this season goes, could be there or thereabouts. I wouldn't mind like a ridiculously good kind of safety that's going to lock everything down for the next 10 years. It is one of those kind of positions. But then again, if we've got that many corners now, would one of those be able to convert potentially?
But would you want it to? Would you want, or would you want a solid cornerback room still? And I get it. It's interchangeable, as you say. Could be within this Graham system as well. But I do think if there always seems to be one safety that kind of comes through and is a first round caliber.
Usually the market is pretty open, but there is not much.
No.
Yeah.
Jimmy Ward, that's about it. So maybe this becomes a position of higher priority going forward in the draft.
Yeah,
Maybe there's some talented players in college that will realise there's a gap in the free safety market, and especially if there's a ball hawk in college that's good at getting interceptions, maybe they'll convert to safety and have a look at playing that sort of
It's not just about
cerebral free
interceptions,
safety
though.
role.
It's
seeing the play. It's the football IQ, isn't it?
Yeah, it's the bowler and batsman relationship in cricket. It's showing something and having the ability to bait your quarterback into thinking he's seeing something he's not, and then having the reaction and the speed and the ability to cover the pass and tackle to make it happen. That's what the really good free safeties do. They're not just playing the position. They're showing they're presenting something to the quarterback that isn't really there, and that ability. Ramsey has it, but no one else has it on this team. I don't think.
There's only one safety in the Kevin Patra's cut candidates list that I mentioned earlier. There's only one safety mentioned in there, and I don't think I would want to get this guy. Geno Stone could be a potential Bills cut candidate.
Oh, I wanted to talk about that in the Bills preview if we are going to do one.
We'll touch on that.
Interesting. I potentially wouldn't be against that. Stone was a player I thought was quite good, so that I wouldn't be against that. I think he's probably a better free safety than anyone on this team right now. And if he's not making that team, then maybe he can make our team.
Well, Kevin Patra said he felt he was outplayed by Damar Hamlin on Saturday.
But Hamlin's also a cut candidate, isn't he?
Yes. Yeah, I guess he is. Obviously, yeah. Sentiment aside, I think he is.
I was going to say there's a lot of baggage there, isn't there?
Yeah, they did cut him at one point, though, didn't they? And then brought him back. Yeah. But yeah, interesting. Okay, so overall, I've got 25 offense, 25 defense. I don't think we need to go into special teams. Has anybody got anything that isn't Boswell, Johnson, and Kuntz? No.
So let's just recap here because I've got the 53. So hang on, it's zoomed in way too far. Ouch! Sorry.
You've got the 53 already? Oh my god!
No, not that 53. I've got our 53. So blue is Ketts and red is Mark. So black is consensus. Ketts kept Heidenreich, cut Homer, kept Nichols. Maybe a contentious decision. Mark cut Wilson. Mark kept Hoffman. Ketts cut Sebastian Day. And Ketts cut Jenkins.
Yep. And then Cy also, kept Nichols, cut Wilson, kept Hoffman. Sorry, the consensus is just catching up with me on the YouTube here, so I can double check it against him. Where are we? There we are. Yeah. And he did not have Jenkins either. Did Cy? I think everything else.
Pretty similar though. So you can see on the right hand side of the screen there, my practice squad. I've got McCullum, Hoffman, Nestor, Smith, Caleb Johnson if he's not claimed, Heidenreich, Hurliman, Lou Nichols, Sebastian Castro, Otumwewu, Malik Harrison if he's not claimed. Wait, so how many veterans is this? I've got one veteran in Johnson, one veteran in Otumwewu. Yeah, he's probably one. Harrison is 2, 3. I'm good. Jamin Davis. Maybe he's a veteran. I'm not sure. Deshaun Jameson. I like just for special teams. I think he's a hard hit. Oh no, Dean Lowry's definitely a veteran. So yeah, I'm over the limit here. So I'd have to redesign this. Dean Lowry, I think. No, Lowry above. Harrison's gone. Forget that dude. So Dean Lowry. Danico Slaughter, I think you're right, Ketts. What a preseason. Henderson and then Welshoff. Yeah. Any different practice squads there?
Again, I don't know how much mine falls into line with the whole thing. I'll just go through mine. So I had Heidenreich, Nichols, Hurliman, Smith. I did have Roman Wilson in there. See, Lake McCree.
Oh, you had McCree. Yeah, I feel bad for McCree. Maybe I should have included him.
I think he's done enough to get in there. Stephen Jones, the other Jones on the O line, Steve Jones, Nesta, McCullum, Otomewu, Lowry, Davis, Welshoff, Windman, Jameson, Slaughter, Castro, and
You had
Kent.
Windman. You see, I was a big fan of Windman a couple of years ago. Didn't think he did much. Didn't think he did much this preseason.
I don't know. Yeah, I still think again he's one that's sort of stuck around a little bit. Maybe.
So who have you cut out of my list?
So out of your list, I believe when it comes back up for me, I don't have Malik Harrison, but you've obviously cut him all there.
Let me take. I'm going to take. I'm going to take. You don't have Henderson.
Yeah, I don't have Henderson.
I'll keep McCree. I think he showed something. There you go, Harrison. See ya.
And obviously, I had Hoffman in my 53. So.
Right. Yeah. Ketts.
I had McCullum, Hoffman, Brandon Smith, Hurleyman, Stephen Jones, Doug Nestor, Caleb Johnson, Travis Homer on offense. And I had Sebastian Joseph Day, Dean Lowry, Jimin Davis, Julius Welshoff, Malik Harrison. And then I had Slaughter, Dante Kent, Sebastian Castro, and Rayshawn Jenkins on practice squad. But obviously, what I might need to do there is cut Heidenreich to the practice squad so that I can have an extra veteran player retained on the team, perhaps. Which, if I can have Hoffman, that'd work out nicely, or McCullum, either or.
Out of just having a look at your 53, well, I only choose one name here. Which one do you think it's most likely the one that you would be wrong about? Because I would say, for me, I think Roman Wilson, for me and Sai, is probably the biggest stretch out of them. I think he probably will end up on this team. I wanted to find a way to not have him on there, and that's ultimately what I've done. But for you guys who have picked Roman Wilson in your team, who's the one guy on your roster that you're thinking maybe that's not going to be?
Well, for me, it's the admission of Hoffman. The only taking 8 O linemen I know is a risk.
So, do you think Rayshawn Jenkins might be the guy?
So, you're asking me who I would cut in between?
Well, who do you think is probably number 53 out of them? If you're taking the special teams guys, well, who's number 50 basically in your?
I think for me it would be either Heidenreich or Lou Nichols, probably.
I wonder if it's Carson Bruner.
Wow, really?
I hope not. I mean, I can see an argument for that because of Roberts coming back.
Yeah.
But I feel like Bruner's needed on special teams.
I agree with you. But it feels well, it's maybe Homer versus Bruner. Yeah. It's definitely one of those special team spots.
If you think Rayshawn Jenkins is like really solidly?
I think he's ahead of RSJ. I think he's a veteran. Just if they're doing this split safety thing, then Jenkins gives it to you. Spears Jennings. I think he made some nice plays, but I think that's what he's going to do. I think he's going to have some nice plays and some whiffs. And Gary's reminders. Thank you, Gary.
Yes.
Inactives for your 53.
So you've got obviously
pick a different colour for this.
Mm-hmm.
So if we're taking 4 QBs, then obviously we've got one emergency and one.
Yeah, definitely B. Howard for me. Probably Alla for me. Yeah.
Alla's your emergency, and then Howard's an inactive. That's how it would. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd want to keep my O line, given it's quite thin.
Yeah.
It gets difficult after that.
Yeah, it does.
Roman Wilson can be inactive. His life's too short.
Yeah, that's the thing. I haven't even got him to be inactive with.
Maybe one of the cornerbacks, I would think.
See, I've got 9 O linemen, so I could probably go with Brojo being an inactive for me.
I'll have Brandon Eccles inactive. Maybe RSJ. Is it 5 we've got to have?
Yes.
But then have like quarterback. So if I went road
7
numbers-
inactives, isn't it? 7.
7 inactive?
Is that the most you can have?
I think it's the most you can have. Yeah.
What's the least? Because you want the most people active as possible. don't you?
Well, yeah, especially with this team, yeah.
It's 48, so 5. Yeah, it's 5.
5 is,
You
yeah.
can have up to 7.
Well, if we're just doing 5, then I'm
Tonyan?
yeah.
Is Tonyan one?
Like Tony.
I think Nowakowski would be one before
No.
Tonyan. Yeah,
Oh,
no,
you mean
I.
Nowakowski.
No. For the reasons I've said many times, which is I think
brings it on.
Nowakowski opens your playbook to keep your offense on the field in hurry up. I just
In a
think he's
rookie year,
too useful. No, you've seen
though.
how he used opening and starting of the first preseason game, opening and ending the preseason game. I think Nowakowski opens up a section of the playbook that no one else can. So I think you want Nowakowski. I'm going with Tonyan.
I'm not going with either. I'm just saying, like, I don't know. So I'm going. Howard is an inactive. Al is obviously your emergency QB.
I don't see any reason to bring Tonyan in if you've got Frymouth and Washington and Nowakowski. I don't see why you'd sub him in other than an injury.
I don't know. It might depend on the
Holcomb?
sets as well. We don't know what. Holcomb is half a shout. Could run with 4 linebackers. Yeah, I'm
going with Holcomb. Since Roberts, I'm going to say Holcomb.
Yeah, so I'm going to go Howard, Brojo. This is just, for me. Howard, Brojo, Holcomb, Eccles, and Spears Jennings.
I don't know. Spears Jennings.
As a rookie, I'll take that risk to begin with and then see how things roll.
Yeah, Brojo is a good shout.
But you've only got 8 linemen, so that's
really, really dangerous.
Yeah, you make it very difficult for yourself.
You have inactives and then elevate people.
Ooh.
Swing
That's a whole
tackle.
different topic.
Yeah. It's tough. Maybe not Brojo.
Who are your... you get 3 elevations per year, don't you, for practice squad guys?
Yeah.
So where's your Dean Lowry game?
That's when one of these dudes is injured.
Yeah, no, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
I think...
I mean, Iheanacho's going to be working back from injury for a while, so he's going to be one of your inactives for a while, right?
Well, he might play this week, so...
Might be back, yeah.
Well, then if he does, then Cook, you can cut.
Well, let's not cut Cook just yet. I just still want him on list 53 just in case, because Iheanacho could get re-injured. So I'm not cutting Cook. That's for sure.
But I think that's your conversation, right? That's Howard Aller, Tonyan, Brojo, Holcomb, Cook, RSJ. Anyone else? Jenkins was a thought in my head potentially. Did one of those does Joseph Day? I just think, as I said, the rotation I think is you need 6.
Well, I think we've left enough food for thought there.
Yeah, definitely. It's a good question. Definitely. Thank you, Gary.
Thanks, Gary.
Do you want to just hit on the what we're looking for the Bills game quickly?
Yes, yeah. Let's have a quick look here. How have the Bills looked in preseason? I've not really paid much attention. I've watched a little bit of the Browns game, but otherwise not really watched a whole ton. They obviously won that one quite easily. They've won both their preseason games so far against the Panthers and the Browns. This one's at the new Highmark as well, isn't it?
Yeah,
I believe. Interesting to see that stadium. But yeah, how are we looking? Interesting. One guy I kind of want to start with, Gavin. You kind of brought this up because we did a video on Jude Bowery, who is.
Well, I was actually, if you don't mind, I was going to play that at the very end.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you want to play?
I was actually going to play the video. Yeah, just for anyone that's keen.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Because I think that's very good to do. Have we got any indication as to who is? Are we seeing Josh Allen this week?
No, absolutely not. This is a big time battle. QB2 Kyle Allen versus Shane Buechele.
Kyle Allen has looked decent.
He's definitely ahead. Ketts, you were high. Was it you or was it Cy that was high on Buechele?
I think
doesn't ring a-
Sai
I'll
was
take
quite
that as
high.
Sai.
Sure, yeah.
Good test for the pass rush and the coverage against these two. They're not raw, These are two experienced dudes. So if the 2s and 3s are sloppy, Buffalo could expose it. So it's a good test for the Steelers defense here. These two. I'm going with Kyle Allen. Shane Buechele's kind of a bulldozing kind of running quarterback, isn't he? Whereas Kyle Allen's more your kind of cerebral, classic backup quarterback. So my money's on Kyle Allen to win the backup job.
Interesting. Could get a bit of Ray Davis in this game in the running back position.
Davis. Yes.
That could be interesting.
So wide receiver though, or do you want to talk running back? But I don't think there's much of a battle for running back. I mean, Ray Davis is, how old is he now? 35.
He was old when he was drafted, wasn't he?
Yeah. What? Yeah, no, yeah, he was. Yeah,
He's 26 now.
He sounds like a 35-year-old, but yeah, he was quite old.
Ty Johnson's that kind of boring running back that won't go away, like a classic progress blocker, isn't he?
Yeah, so I'm just looking. I found a guy who writes for Buffalo. He's done his kind of 53-man roster prediction himself on here. So yeah, he had the two Allens with Buechele as a practice squad guy, and then he has Cook Davis, Ty Johnson, and Ian Wheeler as a weekly inactive. Right. With Frank Gore going to the practice squad.
Yeah,
so he hasn't got Frank Gore Jr.
Yeah, I think that he's a cut candidate. Really, though, it's the wide receiver bubble that's interesting, I think, for me. It's Skylar Bell, Trent Sherfield, McCole Hardman, who you mentioned, and some dude called Steven Gosnell. But interesting when you think that the wide receiver room's kind of banged up. I mean, is Moore healthy? Joshua Palmer's been up and down. Skylar Bell's been injured. Shavers has been injured. Hardman's been unreliable. So this has been a problem area for them. And at the moment, their starting three is Keon Coleman, who has got serious question marks. And then Khalil Shakir, who Sai will tell you is the best receiver in the league, but, is he? And then DJ Moore.
Discourse, yes.
DJ Moore's their number one. Is he as good as Stephon Diggs?
Is he as good as Stephon Diggs when Diggs was at the Bills? Maybe not. But I still highly rate DJ Moore. I think he can be a one. I think he's shown that he can be a one.
This is his shot, right? He's out of the Bears shadow. He's out of, where was he before? The Panthers. He's always been in the kind of shadow. This is his time to shine.
Who was he in the shadow of at Carolina, though? Like, I think that last year in Carolina, he was
McCaffrey.
I guess in a different way. Well, that last year at Carolina, I think McCaffrey had moved by then.
Maybe, but it never felt like he took over as like a dominant number one, did he? And I think he's got the potential to. I think he could be.
This could be, I mean, if there's a better time now than having Josh Allen as your quarterback, then yeah. And yeah, he did get a little overshadowed in that Bears room with Dunze and Burden coming in. So yeah, I think this is a really good move for him. And yeah, as I say, I don't think we'll see him this week. But Mecole Hardman has not made this guy's 53 all practice squad. So
these gadget guys. Then you look at the O-line. I think the O-line's pretty good apart from the left guard spot is the question, right? Alec Anderson and Austin Corbett. Corbett's the name I know, but I think, you can see there Alec Anderson's listed as starter. I think the Anderson's winning the battle, I think. But needs to show consistency. Maybe the pass protection's not quite there. The movement's not there. More of a kind of statuesque run blocker. But Anderson seemed to be winning. So we'll see. That's an interesting one. If those two play, then again the Steelers' interior depth is good to have a good test against them and try and make them decide. So, an interesting battle.
Yeah, I mean this guy's got Bowery and Van Pran Granger as the weekly inactives. Your boy there, Ketts, Cedric Van Pran Granger.
Oh, yeah, what happened to him? Sinking fast.
Yeah, this guy kind of says that his job's sort of saved by the health issues of Connor McGovern. Having a true centre as a backup there is kind of ideal for them. So he's got a chance to stick around in that respect. But he's got Austin Corbett, Armaj Reed Adams, and Nick Broker on the practice squad. But yeah, other than that, I mean, Osiris Torrance is a beast. I'm massive fan of Torrance.
Yeah.
So
Genuine
Nick
road
Broker could go on to be an insurance salesman. He's literally got it in his
Cool
name.
broker.
got it in the name. Yeah.
And then defensively, Jim Leonard, new defense, more 3-4, a bit more multiple.
Oh, you missed the tight ends, by the way.
Oh, go on, tell me about it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's Dalton Kincaid, Dawson Knox, Jackson Hawes. Is Kincaid going to
We won't see
burst
those
on the
guys.
scene?
We
won't.
We won't
We won't
those
see
guys.
Kincaid.
No, we won't see
Jackson.
Knox. We won't see. Yeah, we'll see Hawes. We'll see Hawes and Latu.
Kaliki Latu. Yeah.
Always
we
ready.
might
Always ready
see-
to see Hawes. Sorry, carry on.
Seahawks. Yeah.
No, 49ers.
Yes. So yeah, okay. The tight ends probably weren't that much of a discussion. I get it.
So,
but yeah,
thanks, Mark.
sorry. Yes, defensive, as you were saying. Okay.
Where was I? Yeah, so this new defensive coordinator, or Jim Leonard, it's just the defensive back depth, right? What we're looking at here, they're all hurt. You can see here, CJ Gardner-Johnson was the big signing. He's not going to play. So I guess it's another test. It's like Jordan Hancock, Kenny Walker, or Toriano Pride Jr. Now, I was thinking, is that Troy Pride Jr.? No, it's not. Jordan Dunbar, another corner. And then you've got the DeMar Hamlin, Sam Franklin, Geno Stone battle at free safety. Now, obviously, DeMar Hamlin played for Pitt, but he's not the answer for the Steelers. If he gets cut, he's not the answer for the Steelers' free safety problem. He's more of a box safety again, isn't he?
Yep.
But yeah, so Geno Stone, this is what we were talking about earlier. He's definitely a dude. This is interesting to watch. But hopefully, in terms of these backup corners, Roman Wilson, Wetjen, Brandon Smith, maybe some of these dudes can make some noise against these backups that are all fighting for battles.
Yeah, it's not the most overwhelmingly.
I think this team's
wow
window
factor
is
corner.
Yeah, it's closing.
Yeah, it's not terrific.
No.
Geno Stone did not make this guy's 53 or practice squad.
Wow.
DeMar Hamlin even is on the practice squad on this one. He's rolling with Cole Bishop, Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, Jalen Kilgore, and Sam Franklin as his four safeties on that team. But yeah.
I mean, it's this third game's all backups. The defensive front, the edge, like Michael Hocht, Andre Jones.
My boy Javon Solomon. Come on, Javon.
They added Mike Dana. Where do I know that name from? But 2 sacks against the Panthers and another against Cleveland. But probably going to get cut. But my boy, Landon Jackson, he's the one. Like he's probably the player I'm most interested to see on this team, because TJ Sanders ahead of him. Was that Rocket Sanders, or was Rocket Sanders a running back? Can't remember. But there was a Sanders. I think Landon Jackson. He's a kind of, who was that guy we had on the Steelers practice squad a while back that was like long and lanky? I guess like a Jason Worrells, kind of like not that powerful, but like long and bendy and got reach. That's Landon Jackson, and I think Landon Jackson's going to win that battle, and I think he'll probably show up and embarrass some of these backup tackles for the Steelers. But anything else? You excited about Ben Van Summeren, the fullback?
As excited as one can be about Ben Van Summeren, potentially. I guess. Yeah, I can't say I'm very well aware of his game, but.
Is this roster that much better than the Jets roster when you actually look at it?
I mean, yes, but then
where's the strength in this roster? The O-line is good. Obviously, quarterback is otherworld. Okay, forget that.
Yeah, are we just looking at? Okay, so you're looking at the whole team as opposed to the
defensive line's decent, especially if Landon Jackson does come good, but it's not how it was.
Yeah, well, I still think James Cook is better than anyone they've got on the Jets running back.
And I like Dorian Williams. Bradley Chubb's a good.
Yeah, they've got fine pieces across the thing. I do think they're not as strong as they were. I think the window's closing somewhat, but
I think they're
heading.
They're heading into a difficult period now.
They'll still put up good numbers because of who they have at quarterback. By the way, interesting note here. I found out up to 6 players, up to 6 veterans can be on your practice squad in 2026. The rules have changed.
Yeah, they keep changing. Okay, so fine. We keep all those dudes. Forget that. Delete that
Yes.
section from your memory.
Woo! We can keep our somewhat rubbish veterans. Woohoo! Yeah, I mean, what are kind of your big hopes for this last game for the Steelers then? Coming up against the Bills, is there anything you really want to see out of this that you kind of rooting for? Obviously, I guess there's guys like Heidenreich that Ketts is hoping produces a great game to force them onto a 53, I guess. But is there anything out of this game in particular you want to see the Steelers doing or have done to really put a bow on this preseason?
Do you think Roman Wilson will play? I hope so. He hasn't done enough
He
to
needs
be rested.
to.
Right, yeah. Him showing out
to.
would be huge. I want to see, obviously, Will Howard making some deep passes. I want to see Drew Aller just running things and not having ground balls and sailing balls. Those 3 things would be nice.
I want to see blocking on special teams. I want to see blocking from the O-line and run game development by making holes out there. I want to see Wilson play and catch balls and not cause interceptions. I want to see the D-line continue to dominate. And I've got half an eye on the secondary as well, just because that first Jets drive was just very, very easy. When you look back at it, they just moved the ball too simply against us. So I want to make sure that first kind of scripted drive doesn't really go anywhere. I'd like to see a 3 and out ideally. We shall see.
Yeah, we shall.
I want to see less of Brojo?
I want to see him play and less highlight clips of him doing something badly. I want to see less of him by seeing more of him, if that makes sense.
Do I want to see him up against piano movers and insurance salesmen? I don't know if I necessarily
That might be his level.
Yeah, that's the problem. Yeah.
This is the problem. How much can we evaluate him? Like when he does something good, you're like, well, it's just dot workers. But when he does something bad, then you're like, I want him off the team. So at this point, it's not worth evaluating, is it?
Yeah, exactly.
I want to see Van Pran Granger show the world why he was a good centre in that draft.
Do not bring up any Bills, at it. Well, no, actually, to be fair, I want Javon Solomon to do the same, but there you go.
Right. Let's do a little bit of navel gazing, a little bit of self-congratulation. Where are we? So we've got I'm looking at the wrong team here. Hang on, where do I go? Where was I? The Bills, right back there. So they took in the 4th round Jude Bowery at left tackle, who is potentially the future. Now he apparently had a hard time. Let's see, this will set you up. Let's see if we're right or not. This was our evaluation of Jude Bowery pre-draft. Let's see what we said.
Bowery, Boston College.
Oh wow! Okay, I've still got some music playing. That's interesting. That's been playing for the whole time we've been talking. Amazing. Jeez. Right, take 2. Hang on. Right, the hidden fader. Here
Jude Bowery, Boston College, 6'5", 309. Quite negative on this guy. Seems to give up a lot of ground in pass protection and then recovers. His anchor allows the boat to drift halfway across the harbour before he stops or slows or tries to prevent the rusher. It's like your left tackle is on skates. Gives up his chest very easily. He's stretched vertically, awkwardly to the extent I'm worried about injuries occurring. Hand placement, don't like it. Hop step is too late to be effective. Doesn't show aggression at the point of attack. This guy hasn't given up a sack in 2 years. I don't know how. His technique is awful. I've watched tape. I've seen him beaten on the inside. I've watched tape and seen him beaten on the outside. I hate it. It scares me. I don't want him anywhere near the Steelers. There are run-down snaps where the runner gets tackled as Bowery doesn't clear the guy out of the way due to a lack of power. I'm out -2.
For once, I'm actually on Ketts' side with this one. 0 sacks given up in 2025 and only 2 last year. What? How? Only 4 penalty flags as well. But he's nimble. He can hold rushes well, and particularly in the run game, I think, to create some holes. His Senior Bowl showing was not too bad, but that Clemson tape, it's really, really bad. Against Georgia Tech, gets down to the second level, and he's just yanked down by a linebacker, just forced to the ground. He had a leg injury that forced him out of a couple of games in 2025. Arm length is a concern. There are a little bit of upside to him, and I think while he's not a starter, he could be a decent tackle eligible in situational downs. His nimbleness and his athleticism could help him there. Not a tremendous amount of snaps either, but he's 136 on the consensus board. Wouldn't really take a flyer on that. Not greatly enthused by this guy. I'm at -1.
We've been getting some love from the Bills fans for that evaluation. So thanks, guys. They're saying you're right. Yep, he's looked ours. So we shall see. Oh, I'm revealing my weird YouTube algorithm. Let's get off that. Okay.
Gonna wait for that to come back up when it hits the stream. But yeah, I do remember that play as well of him being yanked down. It was really rough. It was like one of the first things I saw of him as well. It was just like, oh no, yeah, this guy, no thank you. And yeah, good to hear Ketts absolutely laying into him about it as well. So
I was particularly enjoying the beating on the inside, beating on the outside part.
the website era is ending. Here's what to build next.
Yep.
The truth about why your music sounds amateur. These aren't worrying.
Just a reveal behind the curtain of what I'm watching at YouTube.
La reveal
magnifico.
Exactly. Indeed.
Yes.
Yeah.
There you go, Si. We got that in for you. Cool. Okay. Wow. Preseason is almost done. We're nearly there.
Nearly there.
College ball returns this week. The NFL returns in a couple of weeks. Football really, well, I'll do the impression. Football is back. It truly, truly is right now. So yeah, unless anybody has any other business.
Hold on. Am I looking at the old Bill Stadium there?
Yes.
Oh, potential. Oh, yes.
I wasn't going to mention that, but you were.
Where? Here we are. Sorry, I need to. It's not even built yet. Yeah, here we go.
Don't worry. Their second team linebackers are building it as we speak when they're doing their construction job at the end of the week.
Yeah, they've got to start the day by
bricklaying.
And then they get to play football.
Put down the chisels, gentlemen. Can't say what you're saying.
I was going to say after the first preseason opener, the first game there, somebody was saying that the field is pretty bad at this point. Kyle Allen slid on the field, resulting in a massive clump of the fresh grass propelling into the air. The rut was so deep that 4 Bills went onto the field to repair it. There you go. Those 4 Bills already repairing the field, already got their future jobs. They'll be working for Dave.
Field repairers.
Yeah.
Technicians.
An anonymous NFL player said this field is ass right now. Are we sure that's not Cam Hayward? Not Cam Ward. Sorry, take the hay out. So possibly something to look at. Is this field up to snuff just yet?
Let's hope it's better than the field in the on the live stream right now. Because what is that? It's like some Mad Max kind of encampment at the moment.
That whole scene just looks like what the UK has looked like without rain for the last however long. Thank God we had some of that today. But that's exactly what the grass is looking like near my house right now.
Right.
It's but having a look at the finished thing, I'm hearing a lot of comparisons to the Spurs stadium, which is never a bad thing. That's a very good stadium. I don't know about these. Have you seen the seats where it's kind of blue with smatterings of red and red with smatterings of blue? It's all a little bit all over the place. And I noticed that we've done this at Acrisure as well, Heinz, whichever you want to say, that we've started putting smatterings of black seats in amongst the yellow seats on there. Apparently that's something to do with it makes it look better on TV, I've heard.
Definitely a modern stadium trend. I have seen that occur more regularly across the world. Stadium.
Is my Google Earth out of date? What's going on here? It's all yellow, apart from the below the scoreboard bit and the.
It could potentially be out of date. Yeah, it's not long been in. It's literally.
Yeah, it's only just finished.
Yeah, but it's interesting. A lot of stadiums are doing this. It seems. You don't get a lot of. Correct me if I'm wrong here. You don't get a lot of American stadiums that do the very British football thing of putting like the team name in the seats.
They put it in the end zone, don't they?
Yeah, I'm not sure I've seen that. Yeah, it's just coloured.
Yeah, Yeah.
Obviously not Pittsburgh because of the Pitt Panthers playing there, but
Mm.
technically it should have gold end zones, black writing, Steelers, massive letters.
Oh, it
like you
absolutely
get on that
should,
one
yes.
game of the year. But
This new Bill Stadium, I'm seeing there's a real smattering of these, and I don't know if I like it. Like, I don't know. Is it supposed to give off a certain vibe that I'm just not getting? I'll put it in the group chat for you guys now, but just like I don't see it personally, and I don't really see it with Acrisure with the way we've done it either. Just makes it look a bit scattershot and a bit rough. I don't know. Maybe I'm missing a trick here. Maybe this is why I'm not in stadium design.
I don't know. Maybe it's designed to like draw your eye around the bowl. I think that's kind of what it is, because it's sort of tonal, and then you get the sort of shift between blue and red. I'll put it in the update group so people could see the image of it. Maybe it's just designed to kind of trick your eye and make your eye move around the stadium. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think it's designed to look like a fade. Like the Falcons jersey that you love so much, Mark.
Yeah, I like
The
it on a
young kids'
jersey.
haircuts these
but,
days.
Yeah. Do I like it on a stadium? I don't know that I do. Yeah, maybe I'm in the minority on that.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Just one bit of AOB. I would say our friends, but they're not our friends after some technical difficulties over the years. But DAZN have college football, but it is behind a paywall this year. It is available, I think it was around £120 for the year. That includes all college sports, so college football plus college basketball.
And it includes everything under Zone. That does as well. Does
that include everything as well? I thought
yeah,
it was just
that is
football.
no, that is full package, everything for what you're getting for DAZN. If you're into, I don't know, Saudi boxing and softball. I was very annoyed by this actually. I saw softball, no college softball, so we cannot watch our favourite
McNess
women's softball team. Yeah.
Do we know that the
softball.
McNess women's softball team is still up to the standard that we prescribe it to?
Now,
know what I'm saying?
Don't judge me. I did look this up the other day because I had that exact same thought. I think because I listened back to 300 and we were talking about it. They have taken down all the pictures of the athletes. And this is how we get cancelled,
ladies and gentlemen.
They have taken down the pictures of all the athletes on the website. Mm-hmm. Not even just in softball, literally in the whole roster.
There's still some pictures online.
Really?
Did Simon win Stanley Course that?
Well, actually, it is from 2023. This is about when we were talking about it.
Yeah, you try and look up the modern roster.
Oh.
Doesn't happen.
That's an ominous ooh.
Yeah, I don't like that ooh. Especially as behind the stream as well. It's like, what is... I suppose, yeah, if you're Google imaging, I guess. But yeah, on the actual website,
Yeah.
I'm
going to move on from objectifying the softball team. But
this is why we need Si here. Si wouldn't move on.
It was a highlight.
Yes.
Follow me,
yes. So couldn't see them there. But interestingly enough, on that point as well of design, Disney Plus now has ESPN in a way, not everything, but basically all the American football games that are on ESPN this year will be on Disney Plus for the UK viewers. So it's missing some games, but
so is that Monday night? I was trying to work this out. What does this mean? Is this Monday Night Football?
No, it's not NFL.
Oh,
it is just purely college.
College.
Yeah. So if you like college football or Little League baseball, go over to Disney Plus and their ESPN channel. Interesting that you can now watch some college football on Disney Plus. There you go.
Meanwhile, Gav is checking parking at McNess State University.
Yeah, I mean that it makes things even worse, Gav. Like
the parking is solid. Look at that. I mean, that's better than what you get at the Falcons Stadium. That's there's no questions here. Look, what have you got? You've got the football field.
I don't know, at the
look at this organisation. You've got the track team, you've got the football field, and you've got the baseball diamond all in one with easy access for parking. This is highly organised.
If you zoom in on the changing rooms, we're done.
No, I'm not doing it.
We're
And then it's a short walk to the Wendy's. You can gas up at the
The
Shell. Like this, you've got to love America. This is perfect.
You
I'm
have
sure
got
there's
to
a
love America.
There's
That's
a
why we're all
couple.
here.
I'm sure there's a couple of bars around here that you can get a drink after the game, fraternize.
The
Perfect,
Caribbean Hut, is that a bar down to the left?
quite possibly.
I mean, yeah,
Frosty
this is
Factory.
this is what I think we were trying. A lot of people are trying to say to European fans about the World Cup. You just look at these stadiums that are of these really small time universities, and they're just quality, aren't they? Just like absolutely unbelievable. Some of the quality of these stadia and these fields, just for these college teams,
Yeah.
it's crazy. But
I mean,
yeah,
look at the
even
amount
as
of
low as
parking
McNess.
compared to the stand, the bleachers there. There's everyone's getting a space that wants to watch the McNess Cowboys play there. I mean, it's just different country, different world.
Totally different world. Yeah.
Yeah. I think we've probably reached the end.
if we're starting to talk about McNess, we'll go down a rabbit hole there, won't we? But yes, thanks for highlighting that, Ketts. So yeah, if there is any other business on top of that, any other business, follow the show on Twitter at UK Steelers Podcast. Follow myself at Mesh NFL. Follow Ketts at Ketts UK. Follow Gav at GM Boom Op. Follow Ketts' kebab little thingy. You can. Sorry, I always do that for Si. Is it
At
UK
UK SP Kebabs.
SB kebabs? That's it. Always forget. Always forget.
Very well branded for ease of memory for you lot.
I wonder if there's
Yes.
a house price difference for if you live opposite the baseball field, the track, or the football field. Because I'd want to
Enjoy the
live
Bills
here.
games, everybody.
I'd rather live here than there. Anyway, yeah, enjoy it, and
Yes, enjoy. Follow Si. Si wrote this as well. Let's not leave Si out, even though he's not on the pod. But give him a nice follow. Football season's so nearly back, folks, and can't wait to talk to you next week about the Bills game. But until then, see you later, guys.
enjoy the last couple of weeks of summer without Steelers football to get you stressed out.
Cheers.
See you later.
Football is back.
It really is. It is.